referee tonight is from North Bay. I think his name's Kilroy, or McIlroy. McIlroy, is it?
I think Kilroy. Kilroy was here, you know?
Yeah, you know, I honestly believe that, if I'm not wrong, I mean, could be wrong.
You could be wrong?
No, he's shaking hands with the coach now. This is really funny.
You like that, eh?
But anyway, we'll see if he's shaking at the end of the game. I thought this guy played for the North Bay Trappers or Centennials.
Yes, I believe he did. He did play at North Bay.
And I'll tell you, if it's the same guy, I think he was quite a scrapper.
I had heard rumors that this guy calls it by the book, so we could see a few penalties here this evening.
Well, I hope he let them play hockey. I don't go for the cross-checking, charging, and the back stabbing, but I hope he lets them hit and hit fair. That's what this game's about. I know we can talk up here. I've been on the ice and I know what it's like, and anybody can talk about it. If you haven't been there, you know, you shouldn't criticize. But it's a tough game. It's a tough job out there, and I think some of us, because a referee gets paid for doing it, whatever it is, 35, 45 bucks, we kind of think that he should be above all others and the god out there. Well, he's in charge, but he's human. So I just hope the referee has nothing to do with this particular evening's game. And now we're going to have our first meeting of the night.
He's going to talk to the captains and tell them what type of game he's going to call here. You're going to be sitting in the box all night.
If you don't keep your sticks down, keep your elbows down, keep your mouth shut, which is fine.
Well, the referee doesn't put the rules in. He enforces them, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, again, the starting goaltenders, Jason Willard for the Cubs and Mark Henderson for the Sudbury Capitals. And as Mike said in our pregame show, in a best-of-5 series, when you're down 1-0, you better win that second game, or it could be over awfully quick for you. So we're ready to go. Pierre Rivard to take the draw against Steve Gallo of the Capitals. Puck comes to the Cub line. Seaman throws it into the Cap zone. Bruick, number 12, behind the net. Round to the near side it comes. Swain chops it to the line, not out. Seaman floats one in on the goaltender Henderson, and he takes it in his midsection. Hangs on for a face-off, and Mr. Rivard went in there and ended up on his behind.
Yes, fresh ice might do that to you. I remember one time I fell right in a nice little puddle of water that hadn't froze, and I'll tell you, boy.
And all night.
It was tough. It was tough. My rear end got frozen, and it was a long night. I skated it off, though.
Face off to the left of Henderson. Brown in there now on the draw. Sudbury wins it. Fired around the boards by Nick Petrie. Gibson rifles one from the point that floats wide of the net. Bondi clears it out, down the ice, and that's icing against Sudbury, and this getting off to a rather auspicious slow start. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you, those 10-cent words make you go a long way, Jack. But to the ordinary folks that aren't here tonight,
it got me here with you.
That's right. Well, it's a very slow start for our good friends that are listening tonight. We welcome you aboard, and Cable 12. You'll be able to see this game, I believe, Tuesday.
That's right. All our viewers watching. Gibson centering it. Oh, what a nice feed there to Rivard, and Henderson got his pad on that, made the save. Caps get it out to center. Bondi throws it to an open wing. Trying to catch up to it over there was Albiani. Caps have to clear the zone. Albiani gets a stick on it, but Rivard will one-hand it up on the wing. Get over the line. Brown throws it into Rivard. Pass in front of the net. They jam away. The net comes off the piping, and the puck's loose, but we get a whistle. On the Cubs, getting that offense rolling right off the bat. Almost putting one in there.
Well, goaltender Henderson kind of fell off balance there and kind of pushed the puck out. Luckily, the net came off, because had one of the Cubs been quick enough, they might have put it over top of him as he was sprawling on the ice.
You know, I think if Sudbury is going to have to stand here tonight, they're going to have to stop right now and give their heads a shake and say, we cannot let these guys skate like that. I know easier said than done, but right in front it comes, and the puck is loose. Krieger trying to jam it in. Henderson laying on his back, and he grabs it and hangs on. So Mark Henderson making a couple of big saves here in the last 30 seconds.
Well, the new Liskeard Cubs are doing exactly what they should do. They are coming out and they're taking this game. They're being aggressive. They're going to have to do the same thing they've done all year, and that's what's got them here. and they're going to continue to do it tonight. Sudbury, on the other hand, they just have to get something going. I don't know exactly what.
They're having a tough time getting out of their own end so far in this period, and we saw that a lot the other night as Henderson has to freeze it again. When Sudbury gets the puck, all they're doing really is shooting it down the ice to relieve the pressure.
Well, Sudbury cannot play defensive. They've got an attack too. They've got to score some goals, and then they can maybe play on the defensive shelf. Whereas New Liskeard, I can tell you right now, if Sudbury thinks for 1 minute that they're going to play a defensive hockey game, they're in big trouble.
From the draw in the Sudbury zone, Marsh throws it out to center, then takes a heavy hit in there from Sapiris. He goes down. Petrie back after it, and we get a whistle as the puck, I believe, went up another play, so we'll get a face-off in the Sudbury zone to the left of Mark Henderson again. And basically, Mike, if you look down in the Cubs end, there's not many skate marks down there, and if you look down to the Sudbury end, there's many skate marks, so you can...
Yes, and we got pretty good crowd here for game number 2 in this series for a Sunday night.
Yeah, very good crowd. Bigger than Friday night. Maybe that's because you're here. Bigger.
No comment.
Just thought I'd mention
Thank you.
You're welcome. Petrie around behind the net to Marsh. Tell you a little story about Dennis Marsh a little later here. We get a chance. Gallo going down the ice after the puck. Can't come up with it. Peterson in there. Now Swain moves in. Marsh going to the net. There's the shot. And a nice post save by Willard. There's a blast from the point that drifts wide. Swain picks it up off the board. Throws it in front. Loose puck at the crease. They jam away at it, and it's clear to the corner. Major doesn't get it out. Kept in at the line now. Miller will carry it to center. Jeremy Miller in over the line. Loses it. Thrown back to the center ice area by the Capitals. Major inside his own line. Gets it up to Peterson. His pass is blocked. Now here's Miller. Makes a move. Walks in and gets it taken off the stick there by Sakaleris. Miller behind the net. McLean chasing it. He goes into the corner against Albiani. Sakaleris off the top of the boards and out to center, down into the Cubs zone and goes. Capitals changing here. So are the Cubs. Brown jumps on the ice. Takes the pass at center. Has it taken away. It's slid back into the Cubs zone. Peterson. And he's hammered in on the boards by Jones. Jones and Sapiris had a nice set to the other night here in game 1. There's a shot from the point. A high one drifts up over top the net. Jones after it. Albiani trying to get a stick on it. Brown overskated it. And now here comes Sean Scott for the Cubs to center. He's got Rivard with him. Rivard throws it in on goal. It's blocked in front. Dave Brown working hard to keep it in. Here's Rivard. He's got a man in front, and that's intercepted. Cleared to the corner. Katsoukas jamming in there. Now he takes a shot at Rivard. There's a pile-up right in front of the referee. So if they're doing anything illegal, I don't think they'll get away with it.
Well, anything after the whistle, there's no doubt about it. There's going to be at least 2 penalties here. Maybe 1, maybe 2. I noticed one thing. Sudbury are using the body a little more tonight, but they have to make it count when they get in that New Liskeard zone. They've got to score some goals, and they've got to get ahead in this game. They've got to keep ahead, and they've got to make them count. I see we got a double penalty coming up here.
Brown, I believe, was Katsoukas for Sudbury and Brown for the Cubs. Number 22 for Sudbury, Dennis Marsh. He got about 3 shifts here the other night, and I couldn't figure out why. And I talked to the coach tonight. I guess he showed up about 5 minutes before the bus left. They were waiting for him, so he punished him on Friday night. He was there on time today.
Well,
so he's going to get to play a little more.
Nice to see some discipline still in the game.
Puck slid to center. Gibson plays it in. It's cleared right back out. Spatafor underneath it. Trying to slide it into the Cubs zone, but Seaman played it up quickly and back into the Cap zone it goes. Henderson tried to play it. Burnham knocks his man down behind the net. Spatafor can't come up with it. Back on the far side it goes. Gibson will pinch in. One hands it off the boards to Burnham. Big Andy Burnham throws it in front of the net, and Krieger couldn't control it. Bundy up on the wing and goes. There's a pass to Spatafor behind him. He's trying to catch up to it and working against Seaman. They go to the boards heavily in the cut zone. Seaman jumps to his feet, though, and clears to the center. Gallo dumps it right back in, and Willard had to play it to the corner. Andy Burnham Has the puck caught up in his equipment, and he just realizes it now, so we'll get a whistle and a face-off upcoming in the Cubs zone. And Jason Willard being tested for the first time just moments ago. He made a very nice toe save in there, and he looks pretty sharp.
Well, they've had 1-2 goaltending all year. As you said, we had Stroney in the other night, Willard's in tonight, and this is what the new Liskeard Cubs definitely have to have. Strong goaltending. You definitely need it in the playoffs, and the Cubs definitely need it in this series and the next one.
Doyle trying to play it off the boards. Nice play by Deloge to keep it in. Swain will go to the corner in the Cubs zone, trying to one-handed along the board. Gallo in there to help out. Centered it in front of the net. And Swain couldn't get a shot away, or Marsh rather was all tied up. He couldn't get the shot away. Bain and Marsh bump. Now Doyle will pin Marsh to the boards. Miller moving in there. And we've got a penalty coming up here. Michael? I believe Miller's going to go for roughing.
Well, the referee is setting the tone in the hockey game, and probably he's right. If you're going to let a lot of garbage go in the early part of the hockey game, you're going to have it all night. By cooling out the cheap shots and the affairs after whistles, you've got to stop it, and you'll have a better hockey game. You don't want garbage, and especially in a playoff game, and this guy's doing what he figures is right.
So the Sudbury Capitals get the first power play of this hockey game. Gallo out there with Price, or rather Jones on one side, and Swain on the other. Sakalaris at the point, lets it go. Nice save by Willard. And it comes right to Rivard, and he slides it down the ice. 15:09 to go here in the first period, still no score. 1:45 left on this Sudbury power play, but the Cubs doing a good job of forechecking in the Sudbury zone. Now the Caps will come out with it. Jones can't get anywhere against Bain. Sean Scott gets it to center, right to the Sudbury line. Bondi clearing it up to Gallo. He dumps it in. Bain rifles it off the boards, out past Sakalaris, and Bondi will get to it. Sakalaris is past for Swain. Too far, that's icing. No score in the game, and we'll be right back.
Well, Jack, there's no doubt about that. The Sudbury team must take all the chances in the world, especially when they're on the power play. They've got to score, they've got to stay in the hockey game, and every opportunity they have, they've got to score, because if the Cubs are on the power play, it's not a guaranteed goal, but there's more chances of them scoring. So that's the way it is, and there's no way that Sudbury, as I say, can afford not to put the pressure on when they're on the power play.
Okay, we're back live. Play just underway. Slides down into the Cubs zone. That's icing against the Sudbury Capitals. And when you have a power play, Mike, you don't want to be icing the puck, but that's credit to the Cubs for doing a good job of killing this penalty out.
Well, what I think Sudbury is also doing tonight, Jack, is that they're trying to be opportunists very, very quickly. In other words, they're trying for that big breaking pass. They're trying for the big breakaway, and they're taking their chances, which are ending up to be icings.
From the draw in the Sudbury zone, they get it out. Spencer dumps it in. Spatafor in there, takes his man off the puck. Derek Arsenault couldn't do anything with it, and here come the Cubs again. Krieger, long shot, gloved down by Henderson. Drops it off there for Petrie. And he gets it up to Spatafor. 3-on-2 and over the Cub line. He just dumps it to the corner, takes the hit from the door. Willard under the net to play. It gets tied up with Peterson. Sudbury can't center it. Now it comes out front. Petrie's going to walk into one, and he blasted it wide. And Doyle will get it to center. Deloge back inside the Cub line and goes. Arsenault, he had a couple of goals the other night in that loss to the Cubs in Game 1. Krieger falls down at center. 13 seconds left in the Sudbury power play. Oh, and here's a steal by Zephyrisson over the line. Lost his balance and then got knocked down. Sudbury having all kinds of problems getting under their own zone. Now here's Krieger trying to work his way in front of the net. Taken away by Deloge, and he throws it over on the wing to Albiani. There's a long shot well wide of the Cubs goal. Caroms all the way around the board. The Flames fanned on his path. Then he got knocked down, but he managed to get it out to center ice. Alexander trying to get his stick on the puck. couldn't do so. Gibson now back behind his net. Burnham tried to pick it up, lost it. There's a sharp angle shot off the stick of Katsoukas that Willard has to stop. Here's Jones. Big number 2 in the corner, battling in there. Burnham, he and Burnham are tied up. They look at each other and ask each other how they're doing. You know, how's your mother, family, all those good things that you like to hear at a hockey game.
Well, Sudbury has come out here in the first few minutes trying to get something started. It looked like New Liskeard was going to score a pile of goals in the first few minutes. They were all over the Sudbury net. They didn't. And as a result, Sudbury seemed to have come back now and tried to keep kind of even it up in the period.
Gallo and McLean on the draw to the right of Willard, and now we get a whistle. Somebody not in there doing it right. Mr. Gallo is going to get tossed out of there, and Swain will move in. Trevor Swain, number 21. Tough to win the draw, but Marsh pounced on the puck, tried to center it, taken away there by Burnham. And he dumps it off the boards down into the Sudbury zone. Bruin chasing. Henderson decides to play it, but right on Burnham's stick. Here's Burnham centering it right in front of the net. They bang away at it, and somehow Henderson kept that out. Alexander had a great chance. Back comes Marsh the other way. Knocked down as he tried to squeeze between Joel and the boards. Now Burnham flattens Marsh. Puck still in the Cub zone, comes out in front. Marsh can't get his stick on it, and McLean will get it up to Burnham. Burnham gets it to Alexander. Working his way in, backhands it right through the crease. Bain from a sharp angle off the side of the net. Ruick taken heavily into the boards by Rivard. And it's cleared up and out of play. Now we get a whistle. An elbowing call coming up here to Sudbury, I believe, or looks like.
Yes, there definitely was a penalty. Dave Brown got the elbow in the face, and the Sudbury player, I do believe it was Demar Bruick, is going off for the penalty. There's no doubt about that. The referee saw it. Hey, you want to throw your elbows around? Welcome to the New Liskeard penalty box.
And you're not afraid of those names, are you? You'll tackle any name, eh?
You know, I was called a lot of different things. And my name's not that hard to pronounce. And over the years, I tell you, the MacArthur's easy, but there was T's taken out and other things put in, and, you know. Anyway, you know, thank you.
Boy, you're going to have Andrew laughing so hard tonight.
Wow, that's good.
He'll never make it.
At least somebody laughs.
Puck cleared out by the Caps down into the Cubs zone. Joel on the chase. Cubs on the power play. For the next minute 47. Still no score here with 11:27 left in the first period. Rivard set flying there by Arsenault. Now Scott takes his man out. Here's Spencer in over the line, and Major stepped into him and knocked him flat. It's like running into a cement wall. Greg Major getting it up to Rivard. Nice pass to Sean Scott. Comes on the power play here as they come in over the Sudbury line. Scott dropping it back to Major. Here comes the shot right on. Rebound in front of the net. Puck still loose. Rivard goes down, and Spencer comes up with it and gets it out. Major back after it. Kapir jumping on the ice now, and he'll take the puck at center. Gets by his man. Gets it to Brown. Brown shoots, scores!
A very, very nice play by the New Liskeard Cubs, set up behind the blue line. Major started the play. Another power play goal, the first one tonight. That's what Sudbury cannot do. They can't take bad penalties. They can't give the New Liskeard Cubs a chance on the power play. These guys have got about 5 out of the 6 top scores in the league, and they made short work of that one.
And that was a beautiful shot by Brown. He went glove side, top corner.
Henderson was handcuffed, as they say, on the play.
Yeah. And as you said, the Major started that with a nice pass, quick pass up, and the Cubs and the Severson just jumped on the ice, tipped to the head, and they were gone. So Dave Brown, the 16th goal scorer, and the Cubs lead at 1-0. We approach the halfway point of this first period, and the Cubs shoot it down the ice, so that's icing, and we'll come back in there to the Cubs zone. And I think Sudbury wanted anything to happen. They wanted to get that first goal, or the first couple goals, but And like they did the other night, they tried, it just didn't happen, and the Cubs scored 3 quick ones, and basically it was all over in the first period.
Not taking anything away from Sudbury, you only have as much talent as you have. Sudbury is going to try their best to stay close in this series, and it's just a matter of time when New Liskeard breaks out.
Gallo against Safiris. Well, as soon as I say that, Safiris gets tossed out of there, and Krieger will move in. I'm not going to say it next time.
No.
Cubs win it, and Seaman right in front of his own goal slides it out to center ice. Sakalaris hits Safiris with that pass. Safiris walks in, lets it go, rebound. Krieger trying to slide it in there. Now it comes right out in front again, and Gibson moves in, and now the net is off. So we get a whistle?
Yes, the net came off the bearing, and the referee blew down the play. Jack, I noticed one thing earlier in this game tonight, and that is the way Sudbury is trying to go for the fast pass, the breaking pass, and that can backfire on you, if you get caught. But they've got to do something. They've got to try and get in behind that defense, and they're trying anything and everything to get on the scoreboard.
Okay. We'll watch for that. And here they come. Katsukis dumps it in. Albiani against Gibson. They bump. Puck still loose. Now Gibson comes up with it. He's hit. Deloge throws it in front. Off for Gibson's leg. And out come the Cubs quickly. Krieger one-on-one against Blewett. Slides it in front. Deloge's back to take it away. And Jones will clear it to center ice. Into the Cubs zone it goes. Gibson fires it off the boards down the ice. No icing. Henderson's going to have to play it because Burnham was the first man to the puck. Andy Burnham one-handed. And now Andy's going to get a penalty. He grabbed the Sudbury player by the face mask and gave his head a little tug there.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You said at the beginning of the game that this referee goes by the book, and he has definitely gone by the book. Anything out there that happens, he's calling it. I said let them play hockey. Hey, if they're grabbing guys by the mask, elbowing in the face, roughing, and kind of wrestling, that's not in the book.
That's right. Not our book, anyway.
No.
I see across the way the Knights of Columbus Pee-wees from Liskeard with their medals around their necks and their sweaters on. Dr. Face's team that won the tournament today in Timmins, so we say hi to them and congratulate them on that big win. Sudbury on the power play here. The play is underway, but it comes out to center. Bondi. Pass up on the wing to Spencer. He goes to the boards with Peterson. Comes back to the point. Here's Bondi shooting it through a screen. Puck sitting there, but Willard finds it through the skates and makes the save with 1:35 left in the Sudbury power play. And again, Jason Willard has had a lot of shots here, Mike, but he seems sharp in there. He seems to be following that puck very closely, and he jumped right on that.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on the goaltender in any series, in any playoff game. They're the guys that are going to have to keep the puck out. If it comes down to a 3-2 hockey game, they've got to be ready. And what they do in the first part of the game sometimes reflects on the end of the game. So staying sharp at the beginning keeps you sharp right to the end of the game.
Gallo on the draw for Sudbury. Comes to win it, though, and Brown will get it by his man. Down into the cap zone it goes. Sakalaris behind the net into the corner to Deloge. That didn't work. Scott centered it for Brown, and he one-timed the shot, and he fanned on it, and it drifted wide of the net. Deloge, Cubs doing a great job. They seem to be right on top of Sudbury at all times, and that just causes them all kinds of problems, doesn't it? Deloge, now he tried to bring it back behind the net, and the goaltender had to make a save. Now he gives it back to him. I'm not sure I would have done that. I think I might have just froze that thing. Sakalaris getting it up to Swain, too far. That's icing, and again, as on the last power play, the Capitals ice it with the man advantage. 49 seconds left in this power play.
Well, they tried that perfect pass, a long pass, and unfortunately, the front player wasn't in a position to take the pass, and that's why they're ending up with these icings. And like I say, they're trying these fast kind of breaking passes for possible breakaways, and they're ending up with a lot more icing than goal-scoring chances.
Cubs at Sudbury in control now in their own zone. Well, they were in control until Krieger got in there and caused them some problems. Now Ferris over there breaking up that play. And it comes right into the Sudbury goaltender. He plays it. Petrie up for Bondi. Slides it up for Spencer. Capitals still having problems. Cubs dumping it right back in as time winding down here. 22 seconds left in this power play. And it hasn't been much of a power play. Spatafor trying to get a break now. Takes the pass. Cut off there by Stevens. Wheeled away out of the net. They say that Sudbury kept it in, but now it comes out. Here's a 2-on-1. Krieger with the fair stumble line. There's a pass. And he couldn't control it. Has to go to the corner. Sudbury player falling. And now a penalty coming up here to the Capitals as they touch the puck. Tripping will be the call, and the Cubs will go to the power play as Burnham steps out of the penalty box.
Okay, well, that puts the New Liskeard Cubs now back on the power play, and that is exactly what Sudbury does not need. They're trailing 1-0 here with about 7 minutes to go in the first period. They need to win this game tonight. As you know, Game 3 and possibly Game 4 is back in Sudbury, and if it goes the whole distance, 5 is here, but you're not going to see a game number 4 and 5. I just cannot believe Sudbury have to come out and make a game of this, and they cannot take that penalty.
Here's Joyelle from the face-off, fires one in on goal. Comes back to the point again, knocked down. Nice play by Gallo to intercept that pass out of the air, but the Cubs keep it in. Here's Major, he's going to line one in on goal. Rebound, Scott trying to find an opening, has to circle the net, goes to the corner with it. Brown getting it back to the point. Joyelle, long shot, glove down by Henderson. 1:35 left in this Cub power play, and they've got some good pressure right off the bat.
Well, the New Liskeard Cubs are executing exactly what they did all year to get them in first place. They're moving that puck around. They're playing positional hockey. They're playing heads-up hockey. They're playing smart hockey, and they're in the game. They're here for a reason. They want to travel next weekend to Sudbury for one contest, and they've got to play heads-up hockey to get ready for the next series, but they have to concentrate on this one tonight.
You got it. And they're doing a pretty good job of it so far. McLean tried to get it back in the corner to Brown. Now he gets it on the second effort. Brown having trouble, knocked down. Joyelle dumps it to the corner. Sakalaris off of Brown. Puck along the board. Capitals still can't get it out. Sakalaris again finds an opening. And it goes right down. Willard will have to make the save. 6:33 left in the first period. 1:07 in this Cub power play. They lead it 1-0 on a goal by Dave Brown. Now a two-line pass. And we should mention in our first intermission, you'll be talking with Larry Paimoff.
Yes, hopefully, Larry, I see he's in the building. He is in the building, and hopefully he'll be here between the first and second, and we're going to talk a little bit about the hockey of today and maybe of yesterday. And Larry, of course, to me is probably one of the most intelligent hockey people that I've met in the area.
How long did it take for him to start talking to you again after you quit repping? 4 or 5 years?
Oh, no, not that long. Larry and I had a debate on one season, and I think it lasted 1 year. Larry takes his hockey very serious. I did when I reffed. I put the game and left it in the arena. Some people like to take it off out of the arena. And there was a misunderstanding, and hey, it's part of the hockey game. And we're talking now, so that's what counts.
There you go. Cubs trying to work their way in, but it's taken away by Derek Arsenault and shot down the ice. Gibson back behind the net. 45 seconds left in this Cup power play, and here comes Krieger, picking up speed to center, in over the line, into the corner he goes, drops it back to Safiris, walks in, and just as he went to shoot, a good play there by Arsenault. He lifted his stick just enough, and he didn't get much on that shot, and Henderson made an easy save.
We've got 5:58 remaining in the first period. And I think that Sudbury's philosophy in this particular game is just trying to stay close and trying to make a game of it. They don't want to get shell-shocked.
I guess the good thing about tonight's game as compared to Friday's game is they didn't let the Cubs score 2 quick ones after the first one. Still only 1-0. Puck behind the Sudbury goal. Now the Sudbury player gloved it, and I think it was blown down before he did that anyway, so the face-off will stay in the Sudbury zone to the right of the starting goaltender, Mark Henderson, who's looked pretty good in here tonight for the Capitals.
That's right, Jack, and as we repeat once again, goaltending is the whole story. Henderson's got to keep Sudbury in this hockey game. Navarro tried it the other night, and actually both of them did. Henderson's got to stay sharp, or they're in a big possibility of getting a blowout, and we don't want to see that. I know Sudbury doesn't want to see it, and I don't think the new Liskeard Cubs cherish on having any kind of blow-up or blowout of a hockey game. Most hockey, especially playoff, is end-to-end, and maybe a couple of goals either way.
From the draw, Petrie getting it off the boards down the ice. 15 seconds left in the man advantage for the Cubs. Gibson takes it behind the net, and they'll try and regroup and get another rush going here. Safiris. In over the line, winds up, and that's blocked by the defense. Seaman along the boards, taken away by Gallo. Seaman gets it back again. Throws it in wide of the Sudbury goal. Henderson plays it. Around the boards to the point. Gibson firing it right back in. Krieger behind the net, trying to come out. He's knocked down. Spatafor picking it up on the far side, and he just takes a whack at it, and down the ice it goes. And the penalty for the Caps is over. Will they weather that storm? Safiris circling back inside his own line. Throws it across the Seaman. Gets it up to McLean. He couldn't control it. Spatafor throwing it back into the Cubs zone. Gibson loses it. Comes right out in front, and backhand shot, and Willard had to make the save on the short side. Jones knocks his man down in the corner, and the Cup player falling on the puck, Seaman, so we'll get a face-off to the right of Jason Willard.
All right, Katsukas took the puck right off of defenseman Gibson there, and almost put Sudbury on the scoreboard for the first time this evening. Sudbury now will face off to the left of Willard, and they are desperately trying to be on the scoreboard before this period ends. They trail 1-0.
From the draw, comes back to the point. There's a shot well wide of the goal. Off the stick of Bears. Another shot. Walked in front of the Cup goal. Major fires it around behind the net and is taken there by Miller. Off the boards to McLean and over the line. McLean looks in front. There's the pass. And Alexander was going to the net, but he was tied up. Major throws one in on goal, and Henderson followed that all the way in. It wasn't a hard shot, but it was with people in front. It was dangerous, and he smothers it for a face-off.
Well, so far, Jack, we have the Cubs with 16 shots to Sudbury's 9, and that kind of indicates the way the play has gone tonight. So
yeah,
far.
I think for the most part, as they did the other night, the Cubs control the play. They're dictating the way this game's going to go or not go. Gallo against McLean to the right of Henderson. Bondi around the board. Swain shocked at it, went high in the air. Now it comes up to center. Gallo gets by Major. That is cleared up into the Cup bench. Has everybody ducking?
I noticed tonight, I guess the Cubs fans take it for granted, and I shouldn't say that maybe, but I think they come here to see them win. But is there anybody in the arena tonight? And I don't know.
Actually, it's a great crowd.
It's a great crowd, but it's quiet.
Very quiet. You know, I think it's always been that way, though.
Yeah, I know. But I hope.
This is the Maple Leaf Gardens of the Tri-Town.
Well, I sure hope
it's always full, but it's quiet.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They put a better team on the ice in this particular building.
You got that right. I'm not comparing teams, just building.
Oh, okay.
Here's Bain in over the line. Gets it to Scott, a little too far. He'll go in the corner after. Falls down, puck underneath him. Bondi taking a whack at it. Now Scott gets up. Marsh moves in. He's pinned to the boards, and we'll get a face-off in the Sudbury zone with 3:40 to go here in the first period. 1-0, the Cubs leading it. Brown, the goal scorer in the first period on a power play, and that's the only goal so far. And penalties, 3 apiece. Mike?
Hate to jump ahead here, Jack, but I really think that in the next series, and in all fairness, it should be Nord Bay and Liskeard. I think maybe we'll have a little more boisterous yelling and jumping and by our fans.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, that'd be nice.
I hope so. Get in the game.
We'll have to put you in the crowd.
Oh, thanks.
Because you're a boisterous fellow.
Yeah. Well, you can be too if you want to.
Yeah. I'd like to sit in the crowd once or twice myself.
Right on.
Here's Scott trying to come out in front with it. He's checked. Brown right on that puck, though. He never stopped working. Centered it. Bain. Couldn't keep it in, but Brevard does. Now he gets it to Scott, and he couldn't get a shot away, and Marsh will turn for Sudbury up to Swain. Pokes it into the Cubs zone, and Willard catches it on the one-hopper, and he'll hang on for a face-off.
Well, the Cubs right now are, I don't know if you want to say they're just playing with Sudbury, but when they have to be when they have to intensify their game, they do. And it's kind of just a little bit of a seesaw. It's kind of a funny first period.
So the face-off will come in the Cubs zone again, and Safiris is in there on the draw against Arsenault. Puck slides to Seaman. He's called along the board, still in the Cubs zone. Krieger will get it, and here's Burnham. Check. Get away. Gibson. Inside the line, gets it out to center. Taken there by Clement. Now here comes Safiris. Took a shot, blocked, puck still in the slot area. Now it's cleared to center, off Gibson's stick. Albiani trying to get, or Spencer rather, trying to get by. And Seaman does a good job on Arsenault. If he takes him off, the puck comes right in front of the Cub goal, and Krieger backhanded down the ice. And they're going to call that icing against the Cubs. 2:35 to go here in the first period.
Well, Jake Gibson did a good job just past the center ice spot. The forward was coming down the ice, trying to deke around him. Kind of did, but did get partially around him, but he applied the body and stopped him from possibly getting in on a breakaway. And I think Gibson, I don't know if he's the surprise of the Liskeard Cubs, but sure has played very well from start to finish this season.
He sure has, yeah, and the league noticed it too because he was the Rookie of the Year.
That's right.
Robbie Peterson's had a good year too, another first-year defenseman. Those kids look like they've been here, and Alex Bain, they look like they've been here all along. There's a shot right on. Willard kicks that away from the face-off. Gibson getting it out to center. They battle for it right in front of our broadcast location. Now here's Jones, slides it through. Willard under the net and makes the save. It's cleared right in front. And Burnham will clear it out to center ice, and it's shot right back in by Bears. Katsukas had a great chance, and Willard made the save again. Now here come the Cubs the other way. Krieger. Into the corner he goes, tries to center it, gets it out there, but it's cleared away, and Major couldn't get over there in time. Now he just turns and fires it back in. Petrie for Sudbury. Puts it high in the air to center. Peterson couldn't knock it down. Major's there. Bouncing, he just gets rid of it. 1:47 left here in the first period. 1-0 the Cubs leading it. Here's Peterson in front of his own net. Gets it up to Safiris, in over the line. Trying to cut to the middle. Knocked down. And it's cleared out to center. Gallo couldn't get away as Major made a nice play to stop him. Now Krieger fires it in, and the Cubs will change here on the fly. Miller jumping on the ice with McLean. And McLean takes the puck and couldn't get a shot away. Bounced off the stick. On the far side, Sakalaris chops at it, gets it out to center. Swain couldn't control it. Here's McLean with McCrank going to the net. The shot right up, rebound, they score! Jeff McCrank. He did all the right things, Mike, going to the net.
Well, I'll tell you that was a rebound. The first shot hit Henderson right in the face. There's no doubt about it. You could hear it from up here. That went off Henderson's mask, and the rebound went into the Sudbury net. Henderson's okay. He may have seen some starlights and little Tinkerbells around his head there, but I'll tell you, that was a direct shot off the mask, and he's bent over right now, and he's just wondering exactly what went on. That was a fast, terrific shot and a great rebound.
And McCrank going to the net. He was tied up, but he got his stick loose and put it in the empty net. And boy, I'll tell you, that's not what Sudbury wanted here. Giving up a goal with a minute left in the period. Now they're down 2-0, and they really haven't had a lot of offense in this game so far, Mike, and they're down 2-0 now. This could be shades of Friday night all over again for them. Here comes the captain over the line. Arsenault right on. Willard stops it, and he hangs on for a face-off with 47 seconds left here in the period.
Anytime a team scores a goal in the dying seconds of the game, and they're either winning or losing, 9 times out of 10 losing, it gives them a momentum to come back. And when they're winning, it puts the other team behind the 8 ball. So I think the coach is going to have to sit the Sudbury team down after this period and point out some of the things they're doing wrong, and maybe dwell on one, not several.
Brown moves in now to take the face-off against Gallo. Sudbury wins it. Deloge right on. Willard saw it all the way. Made a nice save. So we'll do it all over again. Same place, just a little bit different time.
On the same station.
There you go. Rivard and Gallo on the face-off. Sudbury wins it again. Deloge again from the point. This time it's blocked, and Brown will get away. He's being hooked, though, as he goes in over the line. There's going to be a penalty here to Sudbury. And Doyle walked in and shot right in the midsection of Henderson as he was trailing the play. But the penalty coming up here to the Sudbury Capitals, and Henderson, the goaltender, laying in behind the net. And I didn't see what happened there, but he obviously came out and got flattened.
Yes, that was after he made the initial save. Brown was being hooked all the way down the ice there, and they're going to have a penalty right now for hooking against Sudbury. Steve Gallo will be going off, I do believe, or I do believe maybe it is Tom Deloge, is that?
Deloge.
Deloge, okay. Well, Tom Deloge hits the sin bin, and Mr. Henderson shaken up. As I say, I didn't really see what happened to him after he stopped the initial first shot. And
is it just me, or has this been a long first period?
Well, you know what it is, Jack, the way I feel? It's because we seem to be, and again, we seem to be, I find, in a hockey game without any fans. I wish they'd start yelling and jumping around and make us get into the game. Yeah, maybe it's a longer period. The referee's called a little tighter game, although I can't really say he's called any bad penalties. No, I think it's a little sluggish.
Well, I think maybe that's what Sudbury wants to, though. You know, keep it at a pace that they can compete. Ice the puck as much as they can, freeze it as much as they can, clear it over the boards when they get in trouble. You know, that sort of thing.
Well,
and we've seen a lot of that.
That's right. Sudbury have got to stay within 2 goals in this hockey game. If New Liskeard gets a stranglehold, 3 and 4 goals, they're out of it. It's finished. It's all over. And we got one more game in this series. Sudbury is definitely going to have to refocus, regroup. They're going to have to sit in that dressing room. They're going to have to realize what this game really means to them. But you know what? Let's not take nothing away from New Liskeard. They've got a talented hockey team. They didn't finish in first place again. That sounds like a broken record because of luck. They finished there because they have a good hockey team. Sudbury knows what they're all about. And like I say, it almost takes a miracle to knock off this New Liskeard team in this particular series. Sudbury don't have the talent that New Liskeard has. And like I say, the only thing that is going for Sudbury would be a hot goaltender and some great breaks. If they don't have them, they're not going to be in this contest.
And Henderson's been playing pretty well here tonight, but I don't know if he's going to continue this game. I think he's not moving too much over there. I think maybe what they're going to do is call it a period and maybe get the tack this on to the start of the second.
Well, that could be done. The referee right now has gone over to the Sudbury bench. He's talking to the coach. I do believe the coach is asking, did you see what happened to him? Did he get hit after he stopped the puck? What exactly happened? The linesmen are standing there. I haven't seen any indication of any calls against New Liskeard, whether or not they banged into him, knocked him down, he flipped out himself, what happened to him. So the only penalty we do know that we're going to have so far is the one to Sudbury for hooking Brown and taking the scoring chance away. We're now up to about 8:15. We started this game at 7:30, so it is
it's been a fairly long period.
A long period, and we have a 2-0 lead for New Liskeard.
And Denise just telling me they're running out of tape here on Cable 12 taping.
Well, you know, the day they do that, that's the day we lose another channel, and we wouldn't want that to happen. And we'd like to say hello to all our friends tonight that couldn't make it here to the New Liskeard Arena, and for that matter, any of our fans out there every night that can't get out of your house. And you in the hospital, shut-ins, or people in the senior citizen homes, etc., etc., etc. We're glad to bring this broadcast to you in each and every broadcast in the playoffs, at least the home games. And Jack, we just want to remind everybody that the All-Ontario is just around the corner.
That's right, and we're going to tell you who won our trivia contest in the second intermission, and that person won tickets to the All-Ontario, courtesy of Nortel Mobility, Northern Telephone. You talked about being able to do these games, and we do these games because of these people. Giant Tiger, Northway Chrysler, Home and Away Restaurant, Grade's Home Furniture, Finley's Drug Store, and RJ Tennis Insurance Brokers Limited. Community-minded businesses, and we thank them for allowing us to do this.
Well, they're the people that pay the bills, and they're the people that keep the hockey games on the radio, and we're very happy to have them aboard. And of course, Denise and her crew, I'll tell you, Andrew, every week here, you're here, and believe it or not, maybe you don't, maybe you do, maybe you don't hear about it, but I know people do watch the hockey games on Monday and Tuesday evenings, and I think it's a great effort on your part to provide local hockey to our local area, and keep up the good work.
Okay, and Mr. Henderson has gone to the dressing room, and Jamie Navarro, or Eric Navarro, like that, Jamie.
I got to get
Eric Navarro is in goal, replacing Mark Henderson. And Navarro started the game the other night, didn't last long, and here are the Cubs run the draw, first shot, and Joel blasted that one. I don't know if that hit somebody in front. Cubs putting all kinds of pressure on here. They have a power play to end this period. Sudbury trying desperately to get it out, but the Cubs keeping it in along the board. And again, Joel moves it. Now McLean's there to keep it in. Throws it into the corner to Brown. He turns. 2 seconds left in the period, so he won't get a shot away, and that'll do it for period number 1. And the Cubs will be on the power play to start period number 2. And the shots in that period were, Michael?
19-13 for the Cubs.
There you go. The shots and the penalties, 4 to Sudbury, 3 to the Cubs. And as I mentioned, the Cubs will start the second period on the power play, and they'll go to the dressing room with a 2-0 lead. Dave Brown and Jeff McCrank getting the goals. For you people watching on Cable 12, we'll take a break and be back with second period action right after this. Back live at the Liskeard Arena, and for people on Cable 12, we say hi to you as well. Do we? Yeah, we do. and of course, we're live on CJTV tonight. Jack Warren along with Mike MacArthur, and on Cable 12, Denise Crafer and Andrew Ojenbaker.
Right on.
Those hyphenated guys.
Okay.
And we are ready to go here with period number 2. The Cubs with a 2-0 lead. They'll be on the power play for a minute 27 to start this period. Eric Navarro in net now for Sudbury as the Caps lost Mark Henderson to injury at the end of that first period. And I still don't know what happened to him. I didn't see how he got hurt.
I heard it was an errant stick by one of the Cubs that caught him in the midsection, and that's knocked the wind out of him. That's what I heard.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Gallo getting it off the boards. Down the ice it goes with 55 seconds left in the power play. Ooh, that puck came off the boards funny, and the Sudbury player almost had an empty net to slide to do, but Major got back, and here he comes. Drops it to Krieger. Couldn't control it. The Paris played it off the boards to Joel, and he gets caught, and Sudbury has a 2-on-1. Arsenault in over the line with Spadafor, the shot, and a nice save by Willard. And the puck goes to the corner. Now here's a backhand shot by Spadafor. He turns and fires wide of the net. McLean quickly back for the Cubs to center. Slides it in. Paris is going to chase it in there. Against Clement, they go to the boards. McLean comes up with it, back to Joel, throws it across to Major. Here comes the shot, and off a stick, and up and out of play it goes. And Greg says, gee, I'd like to have that one back again.
That was quite the shot from the point, and Joel was caught there, and Sudbury almost got onto the board. Big save by Willard, and Sudbury, I think definitely, Jack, are going to come out here on the offensive. They've got to score a goal, and by the way, they're killing off a penalty right now, but you wouldn't know it. They had a shot.
That's probably the best they looked in the game. Major's got that big shot. Boy, he walked into that one. And luckily for the Capitals goaltender, somebody got their stick on it. Here's Seaman now on the ice.
Slides it along the boards to McLean. Comes with the power play here. Here's Gibson. Right in front. And a shot wide by McLean as he went for the stick side top corner. McLean behind the net. Turns away from his man. McCrank trying to jam it in. Comes back to Gibson. There's the shot. Knocked down in front. McCrank again off the side of the net, off the post. And it's chopped at by Spencer. He couldn't get it out. Gibson again from the point. Goes off Miller in front. He chases it to the far side. Penalty is over to Sudbury, but the pressure's still on here by the Cubs. And Miller's going to bring it right back in again. He goes down. McCrank picks it up along the boards. Knocked flat there by Petrie. Comes right into the crease, and it's covered up by Navarro, and he hangs on for a face-off.
Well, we're back to full strength, and goaltender Navarro, who started this series Friday night and was replaced, is back in there. And as I say, I talked to a fellow who has some connection with the team on Friday. He was telling me that Navarro could be a real difference if Sudbury was to stay in this series.
Well, they'll have to play a little better than did the other night in the first game. Not saying that he was lousy or he was the reason they got beat, but he'll have to be a lot sharper against a team like the Cubs. Here's Scott, empty net! Oh, they score! Brown finally put it in. I thought maybe Navarro was going to be able to corral that and bring it back into his body, but Safiris was just, or Brown was just all alone for too long, and he finally jammed it in there.
I can't believe the signs these people are bringing into the arena tonight. But I want to say one thing. The goaltender made an honest effort to stop that one. He was helpless, and there's no doubt about it. He's lying there trying to put his goal stick across the line, but none of the defensemen were there to help him, and we have a 3-0 hockey game.
And Dave Brown has his second of the night. He scored the first goal of this game. Dave Brown had a big game against the Sioux here. I think it was the second game where he scored 5 goals, and you won't see any prettier goals. He scored a lot of good ones in that game. Here's Sean Scott, right off the faceoff, gets a good shot on goal, and Navarro makes a pass save. Swain for Sudbury now, taken to the boards by Brown. They'll just try and freeze it, and we'll have the faceoff.
Well, we got some fans here with signs tonight. Mr. Nightingale over there, and my good old friend Roy, and Mr. Cancel is there with. Every Friday they come, and Norma, it's nice to see them coming out here with their signs and supporting the Cubs.
What's amazing to me is that you can see that far.
Jack, I was a referee.
A guy your age.
You remember, I was a referee.
The key word there is was.
Let's get back to the action.
No? Okay. Here's Spencer. Chops it by Peterson, and it comes to the cup line. Major backhands it off the board, right back to center ice. Bondi will fire it in. Bounces, oh, Willard's got it between the pads. He looked behind him. That was a tricky one. But he had it, and we'll get a face-off in the Cubs zone.
That scares me, and I think Willard would be scared more than me. But when a goaltender starts to look behind him after he closed his legs, he's saying, do I have it, or is the red light on, or what's going on here?
Well, he didn't hear any noise, so he kind of figured that he had it. Close call there. Arsenault on the draw against Safiris. Safiris battling for that puck, and the Cubs will get it to the line, not out. Here's Spatafor in front, couldn't control it. He's working against Major, and Major takes into the boards in the corner, and in there to help out is Burnham, who slides it to center. Petrie fires it right back in, and Major has it again. Gets it up on the right side to Burnham, in the middle to Krieger, couldn't control it. Drop back to the Cub line. Major and Spatafor battle for it. Spatafor just chopped the legs out from underneath Major, and now Greg Major is going to get a penalty for retaliating, and boy, you got to wonder about that. Well,
Major definitely was tripped. He retaliated and cross-checked the Sudbury player. And whether he's right or not, the case is that he got the penalty, and he's the only one that got it. And I know sometimes I've refereed many games where I've called 1, not 2, and they say, you didn't see the first one. Open your eyes.
Pretty hard not to see that one.
Well, yeah, I know.
You know, it was so obvious.
It was, and I kind of agree with Mr. Major there that, but you can't take those penalties.
True, he shouldn't have come back and done anything.
You know,
you're right. Easier said than done. From the draw, there's a shot wide of the Cub goal. Deloge will keep it in. Into the corner goes Jones. Behind the net for Swain. He couldn't control it, and Gibson will get it and get it to center ice. Sakalaris takes over, fires it right back in. Sudbury has to clear the zone. They do. And Seaman's right there. He's just going to rifle it off Sakalaris to center. And I think that hurts Sakalaris a bit. He's favoring his right leg a little bit as he escapes back into his own zone. Swain now taking it at center. Power play Sudbury, but the Cubs in control as they shoot it back down the ice. Sean Scott getting his stick on it. Here's Sakalaris up to Jones, into the middle to Gallo. In over the line, Gallo looking in front, tied up, and McLean is going to get it out to center ice. Sakalaris can take a long shot, way wide of the goal. Gallo hustling in there to keep it in. Does momentarily, but the Cubs working ever so hard as they always do, and McLean gets it down the ice. 52 seconds left in this Sudbury power play, and still no shot on goal. Here's Brown back the other way, and he blasted one. Navarro got his pat on that. That was the best chance either team has had in this power play for Sudbury. Cleared off the boards, but not out. Hit the referee. Sean Scott keeps it into Brown, working his way in. Backhand shot. Navarro stopped and didn't know where it was. Sudbury in all kinds of trouble here, Mike, with this man advantage. They can't even get out of their own end. Spatafor takes the pass, couldn't control, and he was flattened by Gibson. And we've got a penalty coming up here.
Well, there's no doubt about that one. There was a little elbow that kind of shot out of the side of a body, and the Sudbury player looked like a top. So now the new Liskeard Cubs are going to be 2 men short. The referee is going over there to give out that elbowing penalty, and we did hear a roar from the fans. And it's nice to hear that.
That's the way to get them making
Well,
noise.
the only thing I got to say is if that was Freddie Rive, or if that was Darryl Crystal, or if that was one of the other fellas, you'd hear these guys squawking and jumping. You don't hear them. You don't hear them tonight. And this guy calls 2 in a row and a little moaning out there. I thought maybe somebody got hit by a puck. But anyway, the Cubs are down 2 men, and Jack, you're on.
Okay. It'll be an abbreviated 2-man advantage for 8 seconds, and the Cubs got control from the faceoff, but now Sudbury has it. There's a centering pass off a stick, and the Cubs are going to get it out. And Major's under the penalty box, and here he comes to center and over the line. And Petrie got back and took it away from him. Spatafor can't catch up to it on the far side. Here comes Arsenault. Throws it into the corner. Willard clears it. Cubs have the puck again. Joel trying to slide it ahead and get it out. Now he loses it to Spencer. Sudbury with the man advantage here for the next minute 25. There's a shot off the stick of Arsenault, deflected into the crowd. 3-0 for the Cubs. We'll be right back.
And the puck was thrown back on the ice by one of our happy spectators, and there's no doubt about it that the new Liskeard Cubs are killing off just the 1 penalty now, as Gibson sits out his elbowing penalty here on Cable 12, and on CJTT we're...
And we thought we were going for a commercial, but we didn't. So.
Oh, okay.
But you did a good job anyway.
That's fine. We just keep on talking.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's a shot through a screen. The save by Willard, chopped down and down the ice. We'll try one again a little later. Maybe it'll work this time. Navarro will have to play the puck. 1:07 left in this power play. Here's Jones now picking it up at center. Sakalaris moving up from his defensive spot. Faked the shot, but had it tipped away. Goes in behind the Cub goal. Major rifles it around and out of play. And it is 3-0 for the Cubs, and maybe this time we'll be right back after this timeout. No, we won't.
Okay. All right, we're going to have another face-off now, and the Cubs are still 51 seconds away from getting back to full strength, as another puck seems to have come over top of the glass. So now we'll get ready for that face-off, ready to go, and We're back to the live action.
Yeah, we are. I think I lost my friend back at the station. Here comes Safiris. He's got Krieger going right in on goal, and he just hung on to it too long, and then it was too late to shoot the puck. Seaman lets it go wide of the net. Comes into the slot area, and the Capitals just slap it down the ice, and they have the man advantage. Sudbury now on the prowl trying to get something going, and they put it right on Krieger's stick, and he's going to bring it out. Now he circles back, just killing time here with 16 seconds left. And the man advantage, down the ice it goes. Navarro has to play it behind the net. Lamont hooked off the puck by Krieger. Albiani out to center it comes. Here's Sakalaris in over the line. Over to Albiani, shot, and they tip it in from behind the net. That took a funny bounce off the boards, and Katsoukas slipped it in.
Well, the New Liskeard Cubs, I don't know what happened exactly there, except that Sudbury scored a goal. But New Liskeard, I thought, played a little sloppy around goaltender Willard. They seemed to let up, and the Sudbury player came in and slid that puck underneath the goaltender. New Liskeard's got to stay focused. This isn't just, you know, it looks like a routine because 9 times out of 10, or 99.5 times out of 10, you're going to beat the Sudbury team. But New Liskeard can't let those kind of goals get in. They can't lay down and let Sudbury get back in this hockey game. And you can be sure he'll be told on the bench.
Now here's the crank. He got cranked as he tried to throw it out to center. So the Capitals get their first goal of the game. Katsoukas, the goal scorer. It wasn't a pretty one, but they'll take it. Now right back the other way. McLean scored. He got it up over top the goaltender, under the crossbar, and the Cubs regain their 3-goal lead.
Well, that was a pretty goal. That was a great goal. The goaltender went down, the player went up, and that was a short-lived goal by Sudbury.
That happened the other night too on Friday. As soon as Sudbury would score a goal, the Cubs would come right back and answer. And they tend to like to do that to just to put any thoughts of Sudbury coming back in this game under their heads quickly. And they did it again here tonight.
Well, the shots are 7-7 in this second period. 12:27 remaining, and it's 4-1 now for New Liskeard in Game 2 with the best 3 out of 5.
And the Cubs will head to Sudbury next Saturday for Game 3. We'll get you the official start time for that one tomorrow on CJTV. Here's Miller. Right back in there for the Cubs. McLean twisting and turning in the corner. He's got Gallo all over him. And down goes Miller, and out comes Marsh. Up for Swain in over the line. He avoids a check from Major. Peterson rides him off the puck. Miller picks it up behind the net in the corner, and he gets it out to center ice. Marsh intercepts it there. Slides it back into the Cubs zone where Miller will chase it down. Marsh trying to work it out in front. It's taken away. And down goes McCrank, and there's going to be a penalty here to Sudbury.
Well, that was a hook if I've ever seen one. And the referee is right on the ball there. Actually, he's, like I say, he's going by the book. He's not letting anything go. He's not letting a little incident go here, a little incident go there. And maybe when you're called in to do these out-of-town games or neutral referees, you're told you're in there for a reason. They don't want any horse baloney, and that's the way it is. I don't know, but anyway, he's really calling it tight.
He sure is. And the Cubs go to the power play with 11:39 to go here in the second. They lead 4-1. As Brown has the puck inside his own line. Slides it over to Scott. Gets it up to Rivard. Poke checked at the line by Deloge. Here's Seaman now, waiting for his teammates to get on side. Rivard tips it in. Chasing it in there is Petrie. Comes back to Gibson at the point. Throws it across to Seaman. Here comes the shot. A high drive off Navarro's blocker out of play. 4-1, the Cubs lead it, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Walk into that. Okay,
We'll listen. All right. On cable 12, as we have the line changes here, 4-1 is the score. New Liskeard leading in the hockey game, and we want to remind you that we'll be back in here in a couple of weeks with the next series, Jack, and it'll probably be North Bay, but we'll see what happens. I haven't found out anything about that series yet. We should know by the time this is on the air where Timmins and North Bay are in this series.
Play underway as we return to the live action here on CJTT, and the puck in the Sudbury zone, and Spatafor makes a good effort to get it out as he was sprawling. Now Gibson gets tripped up and gets it up to Rivard, who tried to get it to Brown. He was checked, and Gallo chopped it to the line, not out. Here's Seaman. Along the boards to Rivard, behind the net for Brown, couldn't control it. Scott back behind the net. Brown again trying to get it out front. Gets a third shot at it, and it's intercepted. But Gibson, nice play to keep it in along the line. John Scott, captain of the Cubs, against Spatafor along the board. Spatafor comes up with it, puts it right on Gibson's stick. Here's a shot blocked by the Sudbury player, Petrie. He tries again, but Gibson intercepts again. There's a wrist shot wide of the goal. Seaman pinching in along the boards. Sean Scott trying to kick it free. 35 seconds left in the man advantage for the Cubs. And they are controlling the puck nicely in the Sudbury zone, but unable to get a real good shot on goal.
Okay, Navarro has replaced Henderson in case you just joined us. 4-1 hockey game. New Liskeard has pretty well dominated this hockey game. Sudbury's had their chances and their moments. They've run into some penalties. Their power play has not really worked tonight, and that's what we have so far in a recap of this game so far. All New Liskeard and not too much Sudbury.
Kind of a repeat performance. They're right in front. The Cubs jamming away, and Navarro kept that out somehow. Joel has to take a whack at it, couldn't keep it in, and here comes Arsenault, and he's going to get a breakaway. Arsenault going in on goal, and he's hooked down. And let's see if we're going to get a penalty shot called here. Will he have the guts to call on? Do you think that's a penalty shot call, Michael?
Well, as far as the player from Sudbury being hooked down, there was no doubt about it. He was twirled around like a top. The referee is going to call a penalty shot. He just made the sign, and Burnham will also get a 2-minute penalty for upending the Sudbury player who upended him right after that particular stoppage of play. So we're going to have penalties, and we're also going to have a penalty shot. And as you know out there, Jack,
you don't see too many of these, Michael.
You don't see too many of these. We must remind everybody at home that is watching this game tonight and listening on the radio that the goaltender cannot come out of his crease before the scorer or the player comes across the blue line. And the player only gets one shot, no rebound. So
Derek Arsenault will be the shooter. Jason Willard's ready. Mike, they call this the most exciting play in the game of hockey. Do you agree?
Well, yes, I guess it is exciting. It's better than shootouts. I don't like those shootouts, but penalty shots are part of the game, and in this particular case, Sudbury need to score.
Okay, here we go. Referee blows his whistle, and Derek Arsenault on the penalty shot for Sudbury goes in, and Willard stops him.
That was a big stick save by Jason Willard. He waited for Arsenault to make the first move. He did. He tried to beat him low and kind of poke check the puck away from him or stop the shot. A big save for Jason. That put Sudbury, could have put Sudbury right back in the game. And you know what? I'll tell you something. Everybody on that bench, including the coach, including everybody in the arena that cheers for Liskeard, now will put another stroke of confidence behind young Willard, because he come up with a big save there, and it means a lot. It means a lot of difference.
Yeah, Art Stroney did it the other night in the first game, and really played well, and Jason's done it here tonight. He's come in and played a strong game. So Arsenault gets the penalty shot, Willard makes the save, so you gotta like that. That's exciting. A lot of pressure though, eh? Here comes comes Sudbury back in again. Arsenault again trying to get a shot away. Backhands it right in, and Willard stops him again. And now he takes a shot at one of the Cub players, Alexander. The referee's just pointing to the face-off circle. So,
well, there's no doubt about it, Jack. This baloney after the whistle goes cannot be tolerated. I hated it when I referee. The puck is frozen by the goaltender, and then you get a defenseman or a forward, whatever the case, smacking the goaltender or smacking a guy in the face after, or chopping from behind. And as far as I'm concerned, it's needless, and it's darn right stupid. And I'm glad the referee called that one. You don't need that garbage after the goal is scored, or after the stoppage of play.
Albiani goes to the penalty box, and certainly not a penalty that Sudbury wanted to take or needed to take at this point of the hockey game. So the Cubs go to the power play, leading 4-1. The goal scorers tonight, Dave Brown has a pair, McLean and McCrank.
Okay, getting all set to go here for this face-off, and now Liskeard will be on the power play. And that save by Willard could have put another nail on the coffin of Sudbury. They needed that goal desperately, and it could have given them a little more zip to stay in this game.
So the Cubs now with the man advantage for the next 2 minutes, unless they should score, of course. And here's a nice lead pass up to McLean in over the line. Curtis McLean controls the puck, gets it to Scott. Scott walking right out in front, and he just shot it wide. Brown in there working to get it free. Curtis McLean out front for Scott, and he couldn't get a shot away. Cubs with good pressure here. Here's McLean again, over to Brown. Brown along the boards, being checked in there. He stays with it. Tried to get it back to Gibson. It was intercepted by Gallo, and down the ice it goes. Spencer chasing it in there. Couldn't get to it in time, and Willard clears it away off the boards to Brown. He stood up inside the line, but it comes out to center now. 2-on-1 Cubs. Sean Scott goes in, and he shot it wide. Now here's Major picking it up, trying to throw it in front, gets it again. Makes a high drive wide of the net, goes all the way around the boards and down into the Cubs zone, where Gibson will turn and fire it off the boards. Gibson behind the net. 56 seconds left in this power play. As they set up in their own zone, Gibson now coming out slowly, gets it up for Krieger, a little too far. Now here's Safiris, picking up speed in over the Sudbury line. Goes to the corner, puts on the brakes, gets it back to the point to Gibson. Side of the net to Rivard, off his stick. Krieger tried to get it behind the net to Rivard. That didn't work. Now here's Gibson at the point. To Safiris, slides it through, comes in front of the net, and Gallo turns, or Spatafor rather, turns and fires it down the ice. Willard has to play the puck. 20 seconds left in this power play. That puck cleared off Gibson's arm into the Cubs zone. Major takes a quick look at the clock to see how much time is left in this power play. They'll have to hurry. That pass goes astray, right onto the stick of Petrie, and he's going to fire it down the ice, right onto Major's stick. And now he comes again to center. Greg Major, long drive right on. The Barrow has to make the save, and it's cleared out, and now we've got a breakaway. Albiani under the penalty box. Willard way out of the net, and he poked it away from him. And Major turns and dumps it down into the Sudbury zone. Jason Willard's gambled right there, Mike. Shot back into the Sudbury zone. We've got some excitement in the second period, haven't we? Here's Sudbury again now. Marsh. He's got Spencer going to the net. Can't get him the puck. Seaman takes it away. Fires it around behind the net into the corner. Cleared in front of the net. Seaman knocks it down. And here come the Cubs again. 2-on-1 McLean. And a good play by Sakalaris to poke it off the stick. And now McLean again. And he took a sharp angle shot. That caroms all the way off the boards down into the Cubs zone where Peterson takes it. Here's Jones off the bench in the Cubs zone. Took a shot. That was blocked. Things opening up a bit here as they dump it back into the Cubs zone. Seaman off the boards. The center. Shot right back in by Deloge. Peterson into the corner to McCrank. That pass jumped over the stick of McLean down the ice. Icing. 4-1 for the New Liskeard Cubs, and we'll be right back.
Well, it looks like New Liskeard is going to pick up a stupid penalty as 18 of the Cubs, Jeff McCrank, was going off the ice, decided to upend the Sudbury player, and there's no doubt about it, he took a stupid penalty. And you know, I'll tell you, Jack, again, I have to repeat myself, you can't get into the mold of doing this. That's when you sit a player on a bench and maybe you don't play him for a couple of shifts or a period. You can't afford to do that in the Ontario. Can't afford to do that against North Bay.
We are back live on CJTT and ready for a face-off to the left of Jason Willard, who's had a good game here tonight. There is no doubt about that. He's gambled and gambled right.
That's right. And remember that movie, Risky Business? Wow.
Yeah, I do remember that. There's a shot to a screen. Willard, they score! Jason made the save. The puck bounced right back to Katsoukas, and he's got his second of the period.
Well, Sudbury is definitely out shooting the Cubs in this period. They're playing a better period. Mind you, that was on the power play, and they finally got a power play to work. Again, as I said, a bad penalty to take, but Frank knocked this guy down as he was going off the ice, and you can't afford to do that. When you're playing a better team than Sudbury, that could cost you the game. So that's one thing I've noticed about the Liskeard. They've got to stay away from retaliation and taking bad penalties. They don't need it. They're too classy of a hockey team.
Well, the Cubs came right back and scored after the last Sudbury goal. Let's see if they can do it again. And here's Scott. He's got a chance. And a nice save by Navarro. So that penalty shot save by Willard off of Arsenault, Mike, it looms large now with the score 4-2. It could be 4-3, and Sudbury could be right back in this thing.
Well, Sudbury have gone to also watch themselves out there. They can't go ahead and smack guys after the whistle and take stupid penalties. They can't afford to be in that penalty box. They haven't got a strong enough and a good enough team to stay with New Liskeard when they have 6-on-6. So you give New Liskeard a power play, you might as well just give them the 2 points. They can't afford to take bad penalties as well.
Brevard on the draw in the Sudbury zone in there against Gallo. Cubs win it. Here's Gibson from the point. Fans on the shot, but he plays it off the boards to Scott. He's tied up. Brevard moved in there, but it's taken away by Bondi. Out he comes to center, to Marsh. In over the Cub line he goes, throws it in front of the net, taken away by Seaman, and he'll bring it out to center. Jonathan Seaman, lead pass to Brevard. That's going to be offside, but the Capitals get it out. Here comes Brown now, again for the Cubs, dumping it in. 5:24 left here in the period. 4-2 Cubs. Gallo. Pass knocked down by Brown, kept in. Here's Brevard. He's got Scott in the face-off circle, bounces off Sean, and out comes Marsh for Sudbury, working against Seaman. And he's pinned to the boards, going nowhere. Marsh turns and tries to shoot it across into the slot, but that didn't work, and here comes Brown. In over the line, Dave all tied up, and we got a penalty coming up here to Sudbury.
Well, let's face the facts. Mr. Brown is dangerous, and they can't afford to let him get away, but you can't afford to take the penalty. They did, and now the Cubs go on the power play, and we have about 4:55 remaining in the second period, and the Cubs are up by 2 goals. Yes, Willard made that big diving run at the puck there. That can backfire on you. But in this case, he did it great.
Timed it just right, yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. But boy, they can make you look bad when they go around you sometimes.
Yeah, if you would have missed it,
with the empty net. It's all in the game.
That's for sure. Safiris from the face-off, Cubs on the power play here. Up 2 goals, looking to get that 3-goal lead again. Peterson at the point. Back along the boards to Safiris. Look out, here's the shot right on. Rebound! Off the goal post, right in front. And it's cleared wide of the empty net. As Burnham was there, but he was all tied up. Got a stick on it, I guess, but he just couldn't control where he was shooting it. Close call there. Peterson behind the net. Tried to get it up to Safiris. Now it gets to Timmy. Out he comes to center. 65 goals through the season. Drops it to Burnham. Burnham in the corner. Cubs setting up here. Safiris. There's the shot. Off the glove of Navarro, wide of the goal. Right in front. Burnham takes a chop out and up and out of play. 4-2. The Cubs lead it, and we'll be right back.
Okay, on Cable 12, we're happy to be. We're still happy to be on Cable 12 and CJTT doing the broadcasts, and we'll hopefully be here for all the local hockey games. And we're glad the fans are out tonight, and the ones that aren't, I'm glad you're watching and listening, and we can provide this service for you, and thanks to our sponsors that come through every year and keep us alive.
You got it. Up outside the Sudbury blue line. Spencer in there against McLean. McLean wins it, and here's Bain. Slides it up to Curtis McLean and over the line, gets it over to Brown. There's the shot, and the glove save by Navarro. 1:07 left in this Cup power play. Again, Game 3 in this series will be back in Sudbury next Saturday night, probably around 7:30. We'll start that. We'll have period-end reports of that for you from somewhere in Sudbury.
Okay.
They usually play at the Countryside Arena, but I was talking to the coaching staff prior to the game, and it might not be at the Countryside next Saturday. So we'll let you know that.
But there will be a game.
First, there will be a game. Yeah. Here's Joyelle. To McLean along the boards. Out come the Capitals off the stick of Spencer. He couldn't control it, and Bain has it. For Brown, in over the line. Cubs on the power play for the next 49 seconds. Brown comes out in front, shot, blocker saved by Navarro. McLean gets it back to the point to Joyelle, over to Bain, one-timer, floats it wide of the goal. McLean picks it up off the boards, back to Joyelle. McLean along the boards, throws it in front of the net, and Scott was tied up. He chases it to the corner. Bondi intercepts the pass along the boards, and Bain tried to keep it in, and it popped over his skate, and out to center it goes. Joyelle picking it up inside his own zone, circles in front of his own net. Here comes Joyelle, in over the Sudbury line. Brown going to the net, and the pass went through the slot area. Brown knocking his man down in the corner. Here's Scott in front of the net, and Swain turns and fires it down the ice, and that does it for the Sudbury penalty. 2:51 to go in the period. And offside is the call as that pass came across about 5 lines.
Okay, we're counting tonight, are we? 2:47 remaining in this second period, and I'll be speaking over CJTT with Doug Walsh, the head coach of the New Liskeard Lions, about the current series they're in with Kirkland Lake and about the league in general. Hillbury, pardon me. I was thinking of Kirkland Lake because they finished in first.
They did, yeah.
Right.
Actually, the Lions lost to them in the last game of the regular season, and that was decided who would finish first and second.
Right on.
Here comes the Ferris in over the Sudbury line. Looks in front. That block gets it again. And the shot was blocked in front again. Now here's Gibson from the point. Fires it through a screen. A hot shot. And it's blocked in. Here comes Katsoukas. He's got the Sudbury goals tonight. Through to Jones. He couldn't control it. Burnham now. Jones again. Takes a hit from Seaman. Behind the net, Gibson takes Katsoukas off the puck, and Zafiris getting it out to center for the Cubs. And here comes Krieger in over the line, one-on-one, making his move. He's free, and a nice save by Navarro. Centered in front. Stolen away by Krieger. Burnham turning, and Zafiris was in a little too deep, couldn't get the puck. Now it comes into the slot again, and it's taken away by Vers. He gets it out to Jones. In over the line, Jones for Katsoukas, off his skate. Burnham back there to take it away. And he tried to clear it out. Now Seaman will flip it high in the air to center. And behind the play, we've got a penalty coming up here.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Mr. Burnham. I think probably would have picked 14 up and spun him around and sent him home with a good spanking, but he was smart on that one. He took a cross-check across the head, and Sudbury now will go to the penalty box for yet another penalty and another New Liskeard power play. And you know what? I'm going to congratulate Andy Burnham when I see him, because I told him before the playoffs, Andy, don't take any stupid penalties. Suck them in, don't get sucked in yourself and retaliate. And I'm very proud of Mr. Burnham out here tonight because he didn't get up and smash that guy back.
And the Cubs will go on the power play here with 1:34 to go in the period, and they scored a goal late in that first period too, which helped them. So they would like to do the same thing here, and for Sudbury that would be disaster. We'll see what happens here. Joyelle knocks walking it down inside the line, gets it out to center, and here comes Brown. Into the Sudbury zone it goes. Rivard chasing him behind the net. Scott now on the puck, gets it to Brown. Spatafor in there doing a good job of keeping it away, and now here's Joel at the point, centered it in front, and Brown tried to redirect that, or Rivard tried to redirect it, and he was tied up. Now Joel again. Into the corner it goes. Rivard turning away from his man, gets it back to the point to Major. Here comes the shot off a stick, and it's shot out and down the ice by Sudbury. 55 seconds left in the period. 1:19 in the penalty. Sean Scott inside the Sudbury line, gets it back to Major. He's going to walk into one. The save there, they score, the rebound! Dave Brown gets the hat trick, and the hat, at least one, comes on the ice.
Well, that was a great, great shot, and, you know, like I said before, you can't let these kind of guys get around that net, and they did. Navarro come up with some nice saves. You can't stop them all. The Liskeard have just got so many different machines to come from, and ammunition ways of coming along and winning hockey games, and they've got firepower from all directions, and there's another example of it. And Sudbury got another penalty, and geez, it's too bad, because, you know, I was kind of thinking Sudbury might give the Cubs a good game or a good third period, but unfortunately, Jack, I don't think it's going to happen.
That's a big goal for the Cubs late in the period again, just 43 seconds left. Hat trick for Dave Brown, who's had another good game here tonight. Never stopped skating, never stopped working. Okay, here we go with the final 43 seconds of the period. So Sudbury crept back in it, but now they're down 3 again. Puck in the Cubs zone, Gibson behind the net. Just standing there, letting the clock tick away. Nobody's pressuring him, so he's not going to move it. Now he'll skate it out. Alexander in over the line. Drops it back for McLean. Gallo's there to take it away. Gallo gives it away to McLean. McLean walks right out in front, puck in the crease. He goes flying, and it's cleared out to center ice. And now behind the play, a holding call. And is that Steve Alexander is going to get the call?
Another penalty to the Cubs there, and as we mentioned, the referee tonight is calling a very tight hockey game. The shots right now for this period, 19 for the Cubs and 11 for Sudbury, 38-24 on the night. And this third period is either going to be a long one or it could be an exciting one if Sudbury score quickly.
That's the key, I think, is that the next goal will decide if this will stay tight or open right up. Swain, long shot, kicked away easily by Willard. And that will do it for this second period. And the Cubs will go to the dressing room with a 5-3 lead. And we saw 3 Cub goals, 2 Sudbury goals, and a penalty shot by Sudbury, stopped by Jason Willard. So we had a little bit of everything in that period. And of course, 10 penalties, 5 apiece. So for you people watching on Cable 12, the score at the end of 2 is 5-3. Stick with us. We'll be back with period 3. Welcome back to the Liskeard Arena. Jack Gordon with Mike MacArthur live on CJTT. And of course, as we always do through the playoffs, now we do a double duty here. We're on taping on Cable 12 as well with Andrew Ager and Denise Craper. And Mike, that late goal by the Cubs, the power play goal by Dave Brown, making it, giving them that 3-goal cushion again. You have to wonder how that's going to affect Sudbury's chances of trying to come back.
Well, yes, there's no doubt about it. Sudbury, as we mentioned from the top of the show, have to come into this arena tonight to win. They cannot lose, or they will not be back in this arena for the rest of the year. The Liskeard just had to keep playing the same hockey that got them into first place and won Friday night's game. The Liskeard have done it. Sudbury haven't. And I think the referee in this third period, from what I've seen in the last 10 minutes of the second, is going to have to stay on top of the game. Sudbury, I think, are getting a little frustrated. They're taking cheap shots at the Liskeard Cubs. On the other hand, the Liskeard have picked up a couple of stupid penalties as well. And if Sudbury has nothing to lose going back home, they may take some pot shots at the Cubs, and hopefully we don't have any kind of injuries or anything like that happen. Sudbury have to go back home, and they're going to, at this particular moment, look at being down 2 games. You know, all I can say is that the Liskeard, if they continue to play the same hockey they have in the first 2 periods, will go on to an easy victory. Sudbury just have to keep it close if they can.
And they'll start this period on the power play, and boy, oh boy, that's 3 times tonight they've iced the puck on a man advantage. And you would think that at this point, Mike, if Sudbury's holding back anything at all, you might as well forget about it and let it go, because if you don't come back in this period and do something and tie this game or win it or something, and like you said, you're pretty well cooked. So let it go now, boys.
I've seen Sudbury 3 times this year, and I don't think they've improved any, and I'm telling you, they're not going to get better overnight, especially against the Liskeard.
Sudbury on the power play, as I mentioned, to start this period, and face-off in their zone. Now here's Bundy in the corner, number 6 for the Caps, gets it up to center. Swain in over the line, tied up by Seaman. Behind the net it goes. Gallo round the boards for Jones. Chops it for Gallo again. He looks in front, decides to hang on to it. He's got Bondi loose at the point, tries to wrap around, and Willard is sharp all night long, and he's there to take it away. No way he's going to sneak that one in.
Well, Jason Willard in tonight, and Stoney on Friday night. 1-2 goaltending. That's what's going to keep the Cubs in this particular series. That's what's going to get the Cubs into the All-Ontario. That's what's going to win the All-Ontario for them if they get great goaltending, as they did last year with Mr. Marshall. And I'll tell you something right now. Everybody's doing what they have to do on this team. And you pick a night when one guy doesn't come up with the big goal, somebody else does. And that's what teamwork is all about.
1:15 left in this man advantage for the Caps. And another face-off is Bain and Spatafor battled in the corner, and they couldn't free it. And the referee not taking any chance. He didn't want that to escalate into anything more than it was.
No, he sure won't let it happen from what we've seen tonight.
Arsenault loses the draw to the Pierce, but Sudbury will keep it in momentarily anyway. They throw it into the slot area, and Joel's there fires it down the ice. 59 seconds left in the man advantage. Deloge in the corner, battling there against Krieger. Arsenault comes back to take it away, throws it up to Spencer, cut off there by Bain. And Deloge back behind the net, puts on the brakes. Krieger trying to steal it away. Chopped up through center ice, behind Arsenault. He backhands it down into the Cup zone, and you never know where the Sudbury are at the man advantage here. They just seem to be trying to hang on, get rid of it whenever they can. DePierre plays it off. Spatafor gets it again and shoots it out through the Sudbury line. Sakalaris, 2-line pass up to Spencer, so that'll come back inside the Sudbury blue line with 17 seconds left in the man advantage for Sudbury, and it hasn't been much of a power play for the Caps.
Well, right now, Jack, Sudbury is going through the motions, if you want to put it that way. There's no intensity, there's no talking on the bench. They're not even looking where they're shooting the puck to each other, and they're not hungry. And if you're not hungry in a playoff game, you're going to have an empty stomach pretty fast.
Seems like that late goal by the Cubs kind of took any steam they might have had built up right out of it. There's a long shot. Why did the Cubs off the board on a crazy bounce right in front of the Cubs goal, but they managed to get it out. Now the plane Miller collides in front of the Cubs bench. Probably the hardest check that's been thrown all night. But the injuries are. Here comes Miller. In over the Sudbury line. Tried to slide it through. Vermont gets it and clears it to center. Peterson back quickly on the puck. Capitals just get rid of it to center. Albiani playing it up to Jones in over the line. Katsuka's going to the net, and Major tied Jones up. They battle for it. A couple of big fellows battling there, I'll tell you. Andy Rurnham off the board to McLean. Back for Miller in the middle. McLean now takes the pass in over the line, tries to drop it back, and behind the play, the referee's arm is up, and we have a penalty to somebody here.
Well, there's going to be a high-sticking penalty, I do believe, to Sudbury, if I'm not mistaken, and it is number 14, I believe. I heard that number...
Katsukas.
Nick. Nicky's
Your
off.
buddy Nick.
Nicky hit the box. And it will be Liskeard on the power play. And that's the way it goes. My buddy. I don't even know this guy.
Yeah, it's your buddy Nick.
All right.
No problem.
All right. Kasukas is sitting in the sin bin.
You got her. Power play, New Liskeard Cubs, and they lead it 5-2 here with 17:20 left in the third. And they're looking to make it 6. Scott centered it, and another penalty coming up here. Interference, and who's that going to? The Cubs? Okay. We'll put a, no, or another Sudbury penalty.
Looks like another penalty. There's no doubt about it. This is my opinion, in my own opinion. The referee tonight has been told to go into New Liskeard, call the game as it should be called. Any horsing around or stupidity by anybody, nail them, run them, send them to the showers. And you know what? He's doing it.
So the Cubs will have a 2-man advantage here. And Sudbury's in all kinds of trouble now, I would say.
Deep trouble.
Rivard on the draw against Gallo. Cubs will have a 2-man advantage. Minute 45. Seaman at the point, slides it through the ground. Shot right through the crease area. Seaman at the point to keep it in. Along the board he goes. Scott back to the far side to Gibson. Seaman again. Tries to throw it back behind him, but gets it back again, keeps it in. Here's Brown. In front it goes. Blocked nicely there by Deloche, and Gallo gets it down the ice. 1:19 left in the 2-man advantage, and here comes Gibson. Nice pass up to Rivard. Picks up speed in over the line, gets by his man along the boards in the corner. Rivard looking in front. Gibson. Brown back to Gibson again, across to Seaman. Has a little trouble with it. Now Gibson tipping it into the corner to Brown. Brown looks back to the point again. Here's Gibson over to Seaman. Shot in on goal, tipped in front, comes back into the slot area, and Deloche is hooked, and down he goes, and there's a penalty to the Cubs.
Another hooking call out there, and the North Bay referee, as they say, is calling it by the book. He's not letting anything go. I guess he feels that if he lets this go, he's going to have to let that go, and it just mounts and mounts. It makes for a dull hockey game to the point where the fans are always seeing the referee's hand up. But,
right.
You know,
No
I guess...
No flow to the game at all.
Well, I guess he just figures that Sudbury aren't in the game, and, you know, there could be problems if he doesn't stay in the game himself.
Severus in over the line, got Krieger going to the net. That plays it back to Major. Here comes the shot. A hot one off the glove of Rivero. Up to another play.
Well, we've had 5 shots in the hockey game, or at the third period. 3 by the Cubs and 2 by Sudbury. And you can just tell how it has dropped, the intensity, and on both sides. And New Liskeard, like I say, they don't have to score 10 goals.
That's right. They don't have to score any more at all. Just control the play. Let that clock tick down, and they'll have a 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 series, on the verge of eliminating Sudbury. Here's Severus at the point, over to Major. Krieger throws it into the slot. Severus tied up, can't get a shot away. Now he gets it back again. Nice play by Joel. Walks in. Scores! Tim Severus on the power play.
Well, that was a beautiful goal. It was anticipated. It was just like I don't know, the flow of water going down the river. If you want to put it that way, it was so natural, deep, in, out, and right through the goalie's legs. And it looks so easy up here.
Yeah.
And for him,
wow,
it probably was.
He did it 65 times this year.
Yeah. Just a matter of...
It probably is getting fairly easy right about now.
Oh, yes. And this game is unfortunately over for the Sudbury team. They look listless, they look dull, they look tired. They'd love to be in Sudbury right now. Is this the team that's supposed to be the big team next year?
They have the Canadian AAA Midget Championship.
Who are they bringing in to play on the team?
Well, I think they might have to bring in some ringers from other towns. If they're going with this team next year, they're not going to win the Canadian Championship.
Well, I can't believe it. It's unfortunate.
They're going to have to improve a lot.
Oh, for sure.
Here comes Burnham in over the line, making some moves. McLean turns and fires right on. Navarro makes a save, and is cleared out and down the ice. And Gallo pinned to the boards there by Bain, and Burnham comes up with the puck, and he fires it down the ice. Navarro's going to play it. Long pass up to Spatafor, that missed him, and that's, again, Sudbury on a power play, and that's the 4th time tonight they've iced the puck with the man advantage. You're not going to win too many hockey games doing that, I wouldn't think.
No, I see number 9 for the Nickel Capitals, Steve Gallo, going to the bench, favoring his arm there after that check by Bain, and it's just now a matter of time before the Sudbury players, you want to go on? No, I'll go on. You want to go on? What do you mean I have to go out? Is it my shift, Coach?
It's like when you're in the old timers and you go for a change, nobody wants to come on.
Come on.
You go to jump on, everybody turns their back. I'm not going on. Peterson chasing it down in his own zone. Taken to the boards there by Jones. Albiani drives Peterson off the puck. There's a long shot wide of the Cub goal from the point. Brewitt keeps it in along the board. Jones gets it out into the face-off circle. Albiani turns, wrist shot right on, knocked down by Peterson, and cleared out and down the ice. And that'll do it for this Sudbury power play. They come up empty again. Jor at center just puts it high in the air. Sakalaris knocking it down. Pins Scott along the boards. A little bit sloppy play inside the line, just kind of banging it back and forth.
Well, it's turned into a shitty hockey game with the Cubs being the shiners and Sudbury being the Cheniers.
There, right in front it comes, and it's cleared away. Luckily for the Capitals, it will come right to center. Jones dumps it in. Peterson behind the net. Long pass up. Krieger couldn't control it. Swain dumping it back into the Cubs zone. Seaman. Swain in there, forechecking for the Capitals. Petrie at the point, goes it across the Clement. Here comes a shot, well wide of the net, not much on that. Petrie off the board, hits the Krieger stick with that shot. And Peterson goes to the corner with Gallo, and I think the net came off, so the referee was standing right there and blew it dead. So with 13:09 to go here in the third, the Cubs lead at 6-2. Dave Brown has the hat trick here tonight to lead the Cub attack. Jeff LeFranc has a goal. Tim Safiris and Curtis McLean with singles. And Mr. Katsukas, your buddy Nick, has both Sudbury goals.
That's right, and he's finished his penalty.
He's out of the sin bin.
And we got a little bit of hockey music.
There's a shot from the point off the stick of Petrie wide of the Cub goal. Kept in at the line, but Safiris knocks it down, and out he comes. Gets it up to Krieger. Gets it through to Burnham. Back to Safiris, just out of his reach. And Krieger took a pretty good hit to get that pass through. Gibson at center, off the boards. Petrie clears through the Cub line. And here comes Steven now. Skating it in over the Sudbury line. Looking in front of the net. Burnham going to the net. Now he gets it back to Safiris. And his pass is knocked down by Marsh. Marsh and Gibson chasing it into the Cub zone. And behind the play, we get something going on here again and a whistle. And I think we're getting penalties to a Cub player and a Sudbury player.
Yes, a little action going on behind the play. And that sometimes happens. The referee should be the last guy coming out of the end of the rink on a rush. And somebody gets in behind him and wants to start he usually catches them. And these guys were definitely behind the play. Thought they'd put a sideshow on, and now they're in the penalty box.
Yeah. Okay, so the face-off upcoming right in front of the Cub bench outside the blue line. Joyelle gets it over to Bain. Alexander clears it off the boards right onto the stick of Bondi. Here comes Arsenault back for Sudbury and over the line. They stay onside. Arsenault, nice move, cuts to the net. And he played it off the side of the net. Joyelle for the Cubs. Flips it high in the air, knocked down by Deloche. He's hit by Alexander. Into the Sudbury zone it goes. Bondi behind the net. Clears it around. Spatafor can't get it out. And Miller clears it in behind the net to McLean. Right in front it comes. Knocked down. Kicked out by the Sudbury player. And he kicked it right to the line and it's cleared out.
They got some good soccer teams in Sudbury, Jack.
There you go. It's a heck of a play. Well, none of them can seem to shoot the puck, so they might as well kick it.
Why not? Why not?
Spencer trying to work his way over the line. We got another penalty coming up here. Miller's going to go.
And that's for roughing. And I'll tell you right now, this referee has full control of the hockey game, whether you like him or hate him. He's calling it, and I don't see too many people complaining. I don't hear anybody from the Sudbury bench yelling. He's playing he's calling the garbage, and that's the way it is.
Well, you know, the penalties are now even, so I guess that's probably why you're not hearing it.
Well, you know, like I say, you let things get out of hand. You don't need a brawl going back to Sudbury for no reason. This isn't a tight series.
From the face-off, there's a shot. The puck high in the air off of Willard and up and out of play. Caps on the power play here, and if they're ever going to do anything in this game, Mike, they better score here. And even then, they might not be able to do anything, but they got to try something.
Well, unfortunately, their intensity is definitely gone. Their teamwork seems to be gone. I don't know. They haven't got much left.
Peterson taking Albiani to the boards behind the net, and a quick whistle there as we get the pushing and shoving going on now. So I think we're going to have a long third period.
Yes, and next Saturday, Game 3 of this series is back in Sudbury, and hopefully the NOHA send another referee in that will call it close again, because you sure don't want to see the Cubs go in there and get manhandled and lose guys with suspensions and injuries.
You'll have to ask the commissioner on the rec report Friday about that.
Well, I don't know if he'll have the answer by then.
Well, you can ask him.
Okay.
11:19 to go in the third. Minute 38 on the Sudbury power play. Cubs have a 6-2 lead. That was the score of the first game when it was all said and done. So I guess in the end, the pattern remains the same. There's a long shot right in on goal. Easy save for Willard. Bruick along the boards. Major just whacks at it and out. And down the ice it goes. 1:11 left in the man advantage as Sakalera takes it behind the net. Up to Bruick. He tips it up to Arsenault. Now here's Jones in over the line. Cut off, and Krieger's there. Fires it down the ice. Bruick slowly back in his own zone after it. Plays it along the boards. Put it right on the stick of Bain, who had moved up. Krieger keeps it in at the line again for the Cubs. Safiris after it in the corner, comes up with it. Tries to turn away from Katsoukas. He cuts him off. Puck's sitting there loose along the boards, and Katsoukas comes up with it. Right in the slot it comes. Krieger trying to work his way in. A backhand shot by Safiris almost found the net. Sudbury dangerously playing with that puck in their own zone, and it almost cost them. Here comes Safiris. Picking up speed and over the line, puts on the brakes, falls down. Now he steals it away again, lets it go, and it's saved by Navarro. He wasn't quite sure where it was, but he stopped it. Here comes Marsh. Back the other way for Sudbury. Fans on his shot, slides into Willard, and he'll freeze it for a face-off, and the penalty to the Cubs is now over with 9:39 to go, and the Cubs certainly showed a lot more desire and hustle killing that penalty off that Sudbury did with the man advantage.
Well, Jack, the thing is, when you have such a good hockey team and you play such a, unfortunately, a team that hasn't got the same qualifications and talent as you don't want to get in their groove. Liskeard have got to keep playing the kind of hockey that got them to first place. And if it means drilling in the goals and outplaying their opposition, they've got to keep doing it. They don't want to roll over and die. They can't think of the next series, but they got to play intensity, and they got to play with intensity all the time.
And here they come again, McLean. Making his moves and over the line. Puck sitting there. Alexander and Burnham trying to break through. Back comes Sudbury. Arsenault. Long shot kicked away by Willard. Arsenault goes down against Major along the boards. Sudbury trying to center it. It's in the corner now, and Andy Burnham comes up with it. Slides it up to center, off Alexander's stick. Bondi off the boards for Spencer. Back into the Cubs zone it goes. Greg Major picking it up. He's going to just fire it around the board, toss everybody out and down the ice. And Burnham will chase it into the Sudbury zone. He takes a hit in there. Comes out. Joel dumps it right back in. Clement, long pass up to the Cub line, cut off there by Joel, and that's going to be outside. Sudbury will clear the zone. Alexander checked along the boards on the far side. Major rifles at the center, and Brown picks it up. Now he has to backtrack for it. He's checked. And here's Bears. Puts it right on the stick of Joel at the Cub line, throws it back to Seaman. Into the middle of Brown, tips it up. Oh, and Remard almost broke away there, but that puck was bouncing. Logier and Rivard battle for it. Now it comes right up front. Oh, the shot was blocked in front there. Scott was set up perfectly in the slot. I don't know if the goaltender stopped that bike or it hit a defenseman in front. Here comes Sudbury back the other way, but that toss is going nowhere, and Seaman will take over and shoot it back into the Sudbury zone, and icing is the call with 7:57 to go. Face-off will come back down in the Cub zone.
Well, Jack, looking ahead now to Saturday, the Liskeard Cubs, this will probably be their last, let's put it this way, their last easy game if they get in with North Bay, or if Timmins knocks off North Bay, that might be interesting too. So the Liskeard are going to have to now step up one more, and they're going to come back to their level and get ready for the next opponent. Which will, I definitely feel, will give them a heck of a better series than this one and the last one.
Well, I think that the big difference from North Bay to the rest of the teams that play the Cubs is they have two very good goaltenders. And as you know, through the season, the Cubs always outshoot them, but the games are close.
Right on.
Here's Brown trying to work his way through. Behind the net, Brown trying to wrap around. Comes right out into the slot, and here's Swain back for Sudbury. With Marsh, dumps it into the corner. Centered out front, Seaman has to go off the skate, and he gets it, and we'll get it up to Brown. It's still not out, though, and now here's Rivard. Pierre Rivard in over the line. Just decides to dump it to the corner, and he's heading to the bench. Sean Scott sends back to the point to Seaman. He just plays it to the side of the Sudbury goal, and now a penalty coming up here. Interference, and I believe that's going to Sudbury.
Yes, it's just a matter of knocking the seconds, minutes off the clock right now. Frustrated Sudbury team thought tonight they were going to come in here, and I really think they probably had the intentions of keeping it close, and if they lost by a goal or two, so be it. But I just feel that Sudbury kind of lost it after the first period. They just didn't have the intensity and have been taking stupid penalties, which have added to their horrible play.
There's a backhand shot by Safiris, a save, and the arm goes up again, and a holding call, or what's he calling there? Looks like he made two signals there, Michael.
Well, you know, holding, and it looks like holding and hooking. Definitely holding was one, and we'll have to wait and see what goes up. There's a 2-minute penalty.
Nice.
Just so far, just 2 minutes. The only good about this third period, Jack? It's the music. It's kind of put a little spark into us here, and maybe it'll get us intensified to finish off this.
You got it. Great hockey game. Boy, it's a barn burner. You have that in your collection too, by the way.
You've got to get into it, Jack. We've got to make it, tell these people at home what a great game it is.
Well, it had its moments. Now another penalty coming up here. So we get to the just get going and another stoppage.
Well, that was a retaliation. The Cub player, number 10 on Sudbury, Spencer, got the best of Jonathan Seaman there, and he takes the 2-minute penalty, and it was a retaliation. As they say, New Liskeard right now have just got to go out there, and if Sudbury want to run at them, let them take the penalties, and try, you know, but you get fed up. I know as a referee, I've seen a team that's been out of it, and they start running at the team that's beating them, and the guys that are leading, they get fed up. And that's when they start kind of dishing it back. And
we don't want to forget what age group we're dealing with here either. Sometimes we tend to forget that. These are young kids.
There's a shot from the face-off off Jones' stick, drifts wide of the net. Sudbury trying to put on some pressure here. Puck bounces up over top the net, then he comes out, and here's Gibson. Getting it into the Sudbury zone where it's taken away by Sakalaris, who tried to hit Katsoukas with that long pass. Katsoukas decides to turn away from the play, and it was delayed offside. There's a long shot right on goal. And Navarro had to stop it. 6:10 left here. 6-2, the Cubs leading it. Sudbury with the man advantage. Lots of ice out there in this 4-on-3 situation, Mike. Look at Sean Scott working there against Jones. He did a great job. Clement gets it over to Sakalaris. There's a shot off of Willard's arm, and Sudbury picks up the rebound. Katsoukas throws it through the crease area, goes wide. Sakalaris will pick it up on the far side. Spinning away from his man with that Savardian spinorama. There's a shot right in front. Willard's down, and he's going to grab it and hang on. Jason Willard, another strong performance here tonight.
Well, there's little doubt that Sudbury now have just made up their mind that they're going to take pot shots. This game is over as far as they're concerned, and the referee is just going to open the penalty box door. And you're right, Jack, as we've mentioned on other broadcasts, and you mentioned just a few minutes ago, we're playing with teenagers here, and this is probably one of the roughest ages to grow up in, and especially today because you want to be accepted, and you want to you have a lot of peer pressure, and a lot of these kids are trying to you know, show hey, nobody's going to push me around, and I'm going to be one of the tough guys on the team, and I don't like to get beat. Nobody likes to get beat, so we sometimes forget that these aren't men, these are still children, or maybe I shouldn't say children, young men, and they sometimes act like children, but so do some of the men that play the game.
That's true. We've seen that a lot, haven't we?
Especially when they don't get their own way in contract demands.
So a couple of more penalties called there, one to each team, so we remain this 4-on-3 situation for Sudbury. Face-off in the Cubs zone. Albiani comes up with the loose puck from the face-off, lets the shot go off the base of the net. It's in behind the net on the mesh, and that should come out. Should it not? We got another penalty here. And he's a roughing call. The Cubs are getting another one. Every time there's a stoppage in play, we get a penalty.
Well, that one, there's no doubt about it. The Sudbury player definitely gave the Cub there, Peterson, a shot. Peterson shoved him back, and he gets 2 minutes. I think the New Liskeard, the Cubs, like I say, are just playing into Sudbury's game plan, and that is no game plan. They're just delaying and carrying on. And this referee has decided, or has been told, to get into New Liskeard tonight and call everything. Don't take any back talk. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised, from what I've seen so far tonight, if Mr. Dodds and Mr. Denemy, or our counterpart over here on the other side, McCrory, get their mouth flapping, to see some bench penalties too. This guy is, well, I don't know if he was kicked out of the armed forces. I'll tell you, he'd be a good commander.
So the Cubs take another penalty, and the puck goes up off the Sudbury player out of play inside the line. 5:11 left here in the third period. Cubs leading at 6-2, looking to take a 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 semifinal.
You know, you look at the score 6-2, and of course our good friends at Cable 12 are here with their cameras tonight, and you see 1, 2, 3, 4 players sitting in the Cub box, 1 player sitting in Sudbury's, and you'd think, wow, geez, Cubs must be the guys that are the bad boys, and they must be losing 6-2, and they're taking cheap shots, but most of it's retaliation and frustration, you know, being pushed around by somebody that really doesn't have anything to lose.
That's the thing, eh? Same thing against the Sioux. Cubs have everything to lose with that All-Ontario being here. Here's the right in front of Cubs. Arsenault takes the shot off the side of the net. And a whistle, and I'm looking at the arm as the ref. Is it going up? No, not this time.
Well, I'll tell you, it won't happen. But, you know, in all fairness, Jack, whether I like the way he's refereeing tonight, or you, or anybody, it won't happen. But that guy should go into Sudbury for the next game. Because there's no doubt in my mind, if Sudbury are losing in this third game, you need a referee out there that's going to call this garbage. But the timekeeper, and here's something that happens. The timekeeper right now has been fouled up. He's been letting people out. He's been getting all kinds of penalties. 2 men short, delayed penalties, and this can get the referee. You know, I'll tell you, this guy's got a coffee break because it's 6-2.
Yeah.
I've been in games 3-2,
yeah.
And you let somebody out too soon,
yeah,
or somebody leaves the penalty box before he's told, then you've got to make the decision. Did you tell him to leave? Well, maybe I didn't, or maybe, because if he did, then he gets another penalty for leaving before he was supposed to. So a timekeeper, and I'm not blaming this young lad tonight, he's trying his best, but you can get fouled up with all these delayed penalties.
So the referee explaining it now to the Deloge and Greg Major in front of the penalty box, so they all know what's going on. I think Andy came out before he was supposed to, but he was probably told that he could go on, and that's why the referee blew the whistle when he saw him coming out. Well,
the timekeeper has a very responsible job, and he has to orchestrate the delayed penalties, and he has to keep everything in line, and he's the boss in that box. And some of the players sometimes think that they're going to tell the timekeeper what they're going to do. Now there you got a captain, went over and asked a question. He got an answer, and he's skating around, yelling at his coach, shaking his head at the referee's decision in a 6-2 game, making a big effort to be a bimbo, and he's doing one heck of a good job. I mean, you know, you give the guy the C. Is it because he knows how to play the game, he knows the rules, or is it a popularity contest?
From the face-off, Cubs get it down the ice, and they'll be just 1 man short in 5 seconds. Probably before Sudbury can actually get something going here offensively. Now Burnham's on legally. Puck in behind the Cub goal. They battle for it. Another whistle. With 4:37 to go.
At times, Jack, it looks as if Sudbury used to have rather got on the bus and went home after the second period.
Yeah,
you know what? Unfortunately, some of the Cub players, you know, you lose your intensity. You don't really want to, well, why be out there with somebody that's going to punch you in the head after the whistle, and, you know, you punch back in there, you get a penalty and that. This is not hockey. And unfortunately, it's too bad, because playoff hockey is supposed to be extra special. And it really, really is supposed to be the best, the cream of the crop.
There's a clearing shot by Gibson, rifled around the glass. It went up another play, had a few people ducking on the far side. Some of the people have started to leave the building. The crowd seems to have thinned out a bit here. There's a good crowd here tonight, though.
School's tomorrow, and you know, let's face the facts. The Cubs are going to win the game, and if you have a small child, you might as well take him home or her home and get him to bed. You're not going to miss much, and you can always watch it on cable.
That's right.
Tuesday.
Jeremy Miller in the corner in the Sudbury zone, centered it out in front, it's taken away, and here comes Spatafor to center, gets by his man. Spatafor with some good speed, works his way in. Nice save by Willard on the short side. And it's cleared off. The Sudbury players stick down the ice. 1 minute left on the power play now for the Caps. Here comes Petrie, firing it in, around behind the net it goes, along the top of the board, taking some crazy bounces over there. Rivard will pick it up behind the net. He's checked and knocked down. Gallo bumps off the puck by Miller. And here comes Jeremy Miller to center. Tried to make a move, check, and offside the call at the Sudbury line. 27 seconds left of the man advantage for the Capitals. And we start slowly getting more guys back into the on the penalty box onto the ice.
Well, you know, we say a lot about the new Liskeard Cup hockey team as far as the on-ice team, but we do forget sometimes that the two fellas who don't score the goals, our coaches here locally have done one heck of a good job again this year, and I'll tell you, they should get a good bouquet of flowers as well when we're handing out the tributes.
Well, they appreciate those.
Yeah, okay. Roses are red, violets are blue, orchids are 45 cents, and wild dandelions too.
There you go. Here's a shot from Bondi from the point. Willard knocks it down with his blocker. It's cleared away along the boards. And down, we have more penalties, or a penalty coming up here, as Gallo went down against McCrank. 18 white. That's Jeff McCrank. He's going to go. So Sudbury will go on the power play again with 3:06 to go. They'll have a two-man advantage for 3 seconds. And it hasn't helped them much tonight, has it? They had their moments in the second period where they could have got back in this game. They had the penalty shot that Willard made the save on, and that was what seemed to turn it around.
It's not, I'm not trying to make a big deal out of this, but you know as well as I do, if that referee tonight, again, was local, calling those penalties against the
crowd would be going crazy.
This crowd would be going nuts. And I
well, they don't know who he is, so they can't yell his name.
Well, it doesn't matter. At least they could boo him. But what gets me mad, if it's our local guy, we think he's nothing but a jackass. But this guy comes in here tonight and calls everything against the Liskeard, we hear nothing.
Okay.
All right, now I'm cooling down now.
All right. I'm waiting for you to calm down.
Those hot peppers.
Krieger battling forward in the Sudbury zone. Did a good job. Severus almost stole it away. Here come the Caps. Now they get a power play for the next minute. 38. Long shot right on. Willard squeezes it and hangs on. Swain let it go from just outside the blue line. Sudbury will change their line up here. Send out some fresh troops. Cup sticking with Gibson and Major, Pierce and Krieger out there, killing off this penalty.
Well, the shots are only about 14-11 in favor of Sudbury.
In this period?
Oh, yeah. Let's yawn together here.
I don't remember too many real good chances in this period for Sudbury. Bruick from the face-off, lets it go from the point. Nice save by Willard. And it comes out. Here's Pierce picking up speed. Gets it up to Krieger. Krieger in the slot, drops it back, and getting back there was Jones. Took it away nicely, and Sudbury comes back the other way. Katsoukas in over the line, trying to cut around Gibson. Lets it go. Saved by Willard. Comes out. Jones in the slot. Took too long to shoot it. Gibson was able to block it. Albiani behind the net for Jones. Centered it out. Katsoukas, and he's stopped by Willard, and it's high in the air, and now blown down. I think the net came off again, so we'll have a face-off in the Cub zone. Nice save by Jason Willard there as Katsoukas was going for the hat trick for Sudbury.
Remember, these fellas are still going to school, and this Sudbury team has to jump on a bus tonight and go all the way back to Sudbury, and 9 o'clock classes start.
There you go.
Very early.
Well, I know one thing. We're not going to school tomorrow. No way.
I don't think they've had us in. I can tell
You're probably right.
Not even as a mature student. After some of the comments we made.
There you go, yeah. Bain around the boards to the point, doesn't get it out. Here's Sakaleras. Willard makes a save, the rebound, they score! Spatafor. Jason was looking the other way. He thought he had kicked it into the corner. It got behind him the other side, and Spatafor was untouched and slid it in the net.
Yeah, that's happened to Jason a couple of times now. He's made some saves, and they've kind of been in his pads or between his legs, and he's kind of thought maybe they've rolled behind him, and that time he did look back, and the second time around they scored.
6-3 now the score.
6-3.
But but time is the enemy now of Sudbury.
They need Rolling Stone Mick Jagger to sing "Time Is on My Side," and guess what? Mickey is almost retired, so he ain't singing for them tonight.
Time isn't on their side. 1:54 left in this one. Look out as the puck was fired up into the crowd. Doug Walsh, who you talked to in that second intermission, almost got it, but he didn't get it where he wanted it.
No.
Preston Kozak's over there to save the day.
Yeah, he'll probably send that puck to Ottawa. You know, to one of his favorite senators, and probably Randy Cunningworth, who probably uses it maybe right now.
Broken cheekbone. Yeah, he gets a cheekbone. Spatafor, who just scored the goal back in the zone, cup, centered it. Willard makes the save. Here's Arsenault battling along the far side, dumps it back into the corner. Spatafor to Arsenault, couldn't get a shot away, and Scott gets it to Rivard, who slides it up to Brown. He tries to work his way through, cut off. Capitals get it back to center, down into the Cubs zone it goes. Bain, long pass up to Rivard, didn't see it. Intercepted, but now Bain moves up and dumps it in to the Sudbury zone. 1:10 to go in this hockey game. Here comes Swain, long pass over to Marsh. Long drive from the inside the blue line by Sakalaris. Willard had to be sharp on that one. Made a nice save. Royale turns and fires it down the ice. And that's icing against the Cubs with 48 seconds left.
So, Jack, the next series will probably be starting in 2 weeks.
I think that after next weekend, if the Cubs wrap it up either Saturday or Sunday, depending on how long it goes, it would start the following weekend here with the first couple of games. But, you know, with North Bay and the Cubs being so close, Mike, they might even play a game during the week. North Bay does have home games on Thursdays, so you never know how that will go, whether that will be a weekend thing or...
Okay.
But I guess we shouldn't jump too far ahead of ourselves. There's a nice save by Willard, a shot from the point, rebound, shot wide of the net. Capitals with some pressure here as we wind down this game. Puck in behind the Cub goal. Miller moves in there. And there we go with the pushing and the shoving. The referee blowing the whistle quickly, though, trying to stop it right away.
Well, you don't need any rhubarb with less than a minute to go. These kids want to play in the next game. And, of course, after the 10-minute mark of the third period, anybody getting thrown out of a game doesn't play the next one.
That's right.
I hardly think that they want that. Although, by looking at the Sudbury team going to the bench, maybe
there's some that don't want to play.
Maybe they don't want to play in that third game.
Well, they'll have a week to think about it and get prepared. I'm sure that Sault Ste. Marie gave the Cubs a pretty good goal last weekend in the Sioux after getting blown away in the first couple of games. So Sudbury is certainly capable of giving the Cubs a much tighter game down there. In over the line, Albiani trying to center it. He's cut off. Willard will play it to the corner, and here's Miller now running into Kakukas. 11 seconds left in this one. And another whistle, and is he calling penalties here, or just trying to... Yeah, he is calling something. One to each team.
Well, there's no doubt about it.
With 8 seconds left.
Yeah, the Sudbury player gave Willard a little shot behind the net, and a good defenseman, Rob Peterson, came to his rescue, and that's part of the game.
So we'll drop the puck and hopefully get the last 8 seconds of this one out of the way, so we can move on to bigger and better things, right, Michael? We'll have that shot total for you, too, coming up when this one's over. Can you add that up all by yourself? You want to calculate?
Yeah, I need a calculator, I think. Doesn't seem right, but 49-46 for the Cubs. Of course, Sudbury's had a lot in this period.
Here's Marsh centering it. McLean fanned on his clearing pass, and that should do it, and it does do it. Finally, this thing is over. It's been a long third period. And the Cubs win 6-2 in the first game and 6-3 in this one here tonight. And Mike, I guess just basically overall that they control the tempo of this game as they did the other night. And Sudbury tried, but
They're just not as talented or as good a team. And if the Cubs play their game, they can beat just about anybody, can't they?
That's right, Jack. There's no doubt about it. The final shots, 49 for the Cubs, 46 for Sudbury. Another mismatch. You know, you come down here hoping that the visiting team will give New Liskeard a good game. When you don't have the talent and you're playing against a very well-coached, well-disciplined team for most nights, you're not going to get any better. Things aren't going to change. You know, it's like the kid that doesn't study all year at school and thinks he can pass his June exams. Well, guess what? It don't happen. And unfortunately, Sudbury was not good all year, and they aren't going to improve in the playoffs.
Okay.
Not against this team.
For those of you watching on Cable 12, we'll tell you the final score was 6-3 Cubs, and we thank you for watching, and we'll be back with you very soon with more Cub playoff hockey right here on Cable 12.